So good morning, everyone. It's me, Gujarati from National Child Development Council, Nightingale Circle. I'm the coordinator of this circle, and we have a great team here with us, with Vinod Bharadwaj sir and Paritosh Bakshi, Sarat sir, Arun sir, and many of them other from the team of disaster management. It's from Organization of Disaster Managers. We have the great team here with us. So I hope you all ready to enjoy this session. And in our daily life, we want to know these all things. How we want to overcome these all situations. Whenever the disaster coming here, we have to overcome it with patience. Means without any tensions, without any worries, we have to overcome these all things. Here, with people sharing these all things, and we can learn something. We can use in our life. These all things we can apply in our life. These all things, and we will be cool after this. Okay, it will be a great opportunity for you. And here I would like to invite Vinod sir to inaugurate this function.
Thank you, Ms. Peter. Good morning, everyone. A warm welcome to all of you on the behalf of entire ODM team. ODM aim is to be trained the trainers first in the field of many disasters, like pre-disaster, post-disaster, and after the disasters, where our experts share their experience, knowledge, and safeguard to the society. Today, we are at this platform along with the Ncdc South, with the sports of the Girja Peter, who took a great initiative so that we can enhance your learning regarding basic safety tips at the time of untoward situations. It was that all of you will take your extreme interest and will be able to grasp your near and dears from our specialist. I wish again to the all penalties and expertise so that you can take all tips and give the students, teachers, and your community peoples. So I will hand over to the Mr. Paritosh Bakshi. The team will give the full knowledge to you. Thank you. Mr. Paritosh, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Next, I would like to invite Paritosh Bakshi Bhaiya to handle these all sessions. We are all eagerly waiting for your session.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. As Girija, I would first of all like to thanks Girija Peter to arrange this so important session towards safety. And because this is not a session, this is not a knowledge, something like you can save your neighbors if you learn this very seriously. If we teach you something 11 topics in this, if you grab the 2 topics also, I think we have achieved the goal which we want to, along with Girija, to at least you should know how to safeguard your neighbors, your relatives, your friends. There are many safety topics. It's very long topic, but we are going to discuss on a basics today. And with the support of Girija from Ncdc, definitely I'm sure such kind of sessions will be arranged in future also. Now, I would like to share that Mr. Arun Kalyalji, who is the National Chief Training with us, he's there also, and I welcome him on board. Dr. Saurabh Gupta, who is a national coordinator, and he is a very expert in first aids, CPR trainings and all. He's also there along with us, who will be sharing and also demonstrating. Arunji will demonstrate about the fire safety. They will teach you verbally also, and they will show you the demonstration also, how actually extinguishers look like, which extinguishers actually to be used on which type of fire, and how you have to operate it, what are the safeties you have to take it. You will also share some topics, basic things on like how you have to ensure your home, your house where you live, that is safe and sound. How you can also have where you are working, like suppose you are working in a corporate office and somewhere, what all the minimum safety things or some safety tips you have to always be ensure in your mind. And definitely, I will also share my views afterwards when this training will get over. So I would like to welcome Mr. Arun Tehlialji, who will start with the first aid topic. And I must tell you, we, the organization of disaster managers, we are born not to just for knowledge enhancing, but we are also born, our team has also born to stand by along with you, aside you, anytime you call us, for any training or any disaster, you can say control. If you feel like in your any city and all, everywhere in entire India, each state, each district, we are creating a team. And after this training, definitely whoever wish to join ODM to serve the nation with pride and honesty, we will tell you how to join us and how to serve the nation. So definitely now I would like to call Mr. Arun Tehlialji. Girija, may I request you to please invite Arun Tehlialji to start with the fire safety training. And before start, I would like Arun Tehlialji to share about their views about ODM and their experience. And then you start with the training. Arun Tehlialji.
Okay, Arun sir, you may.
Good morning, all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Have a great day to you.
तो सबसे पहले मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा कि रिस्पेक्टेड ओडियम चीफ साहब परितोष बख्शी जी और डॉक्टर सौरभ गुप्ता जी, जो ये टीम वर्क चल रहा है ओडियम के द्वारा हमारे नेशन के अंदर, कि भाई हम सबकी सेफ्टी सुनिश्चित करें, सबके लिए हम सुरक्षा की कोशिश करें कि वो जहां पर भी रहे, जिस जगह भी रहे, वो सुरक्षित रहे। हमारा मोटिव ओडियम का सिर्फ इतना है कि हर व्यक्ति, चाहे वो कहीं पर भी हो, किसी भी समय, वो वहां पर सुरक्षित हो। वो कैसे सुरक्षित होगा, इसको सुनिश्चित करना हमारी ओडियम का काम है और हम लगातार 2018 से इसके ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं। हमारा उद्देश्य तभी सफल हो सकता है जब हमारे सभी लोग हमारे साथ मिलकर उस ट्रेनिंग को अटेंड करें, उसका पूरा फायदा उठाएं और उसके प्रैक्टिकल्स को बारीकियों के साथ समझें। तो मेरा ये मानना है कि आज का ये जो वेब सेमिनार मैम के द्वारा ऑर्गेनाइज कराया गया है, इसका पूरा फायदा हमारे जितने भी देशवासी इस समय हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं उन सभी को होगा। और मैं अपने सभी देशवासियों को भी 15 अगस्त की बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं देना चाहता हूं। और ये जो सेमिनार आज हमारा आयोजित किया जा रहा है, इसमें उनको पूरा फायदा हो, वो पूरा बेनिफिट्स उठा सकें और उसका वो पूरा महत्वपूर्ण जो भी हमारे डेमोन्स्ट्रेशंस होंगे, जो हमारी प्रैक्टिकल्स होंगे, उनको बहुत बारीकियों से समझे। क्रॉस क्वेश्चन का भी सेशन हम रखेंगे, मगर वो कुछ समय के बाद रखेंगे। पहले हम बेसिक चीजें जो हैं उनके बारे में समझे। तो अभी कुछ देर में हम आपके सामने के पीपीटी शो करेंगे, उसके बाद हम कंटिन्यू करते हैं।
Girija, can you share the fire safety PPT?
Yes, yes.
Can you make it full screen if you feel like? I think that will be wonderful. Yeah. Organization of disaster managers. Just a minute. As we have already given you a short brief, can we go to the next slide, please, Girija? Today we have, as I told you, disaster. Disaster is a very small word, but very serious topic. We have many type of disasters. It's a human man-made disaster, natural disaster. Man-mades are people smoke, throw their birds on the dry grass. Terrorism is a man-made disaster. Unknowingly carrying out any unsafe act which can turn to man-made disaster. There are several tips also. And what are the natural disasters? Disasters are like thinking storm, thunder, flood, fire. In all these, the major disaster always I have seen in my experience where we have gone and controlled is a fire. Definitely, if I talk about South and some other area, there was a previous, so many years back, there were tea tsunami also. That was a natural disaster. There are different ways to control it. We can just share the basic tips on that because that cannot be trained over here on the PPT. But today, one topic we are taking, that's in a fire safety, which everybody can really learn. And when Mr. Arun will show the demonstration, at least question them. If you don't feel like you have not understood, question him again and again. If he will show you the extinguishers which is being turned, ask him to show him again from where he take out the pin, where it has pin. Try to see very deeply. Ask him question again and again. I'm telling you so that this session could be very valuable and useful for all of us. Objectives. I hope everybody understand what are objectives. Objectives are, can you, it's open screen. To understand how to avoid. Basically, our objective is to you all of should understand how to avoid fire and fire related injuries. To give the necessary information about the causes of fire accidents. We will give you the necessary information why the fire occurs. It's not a question of how to fight fire, how to ensure that we can ensure that there should no fire should take place. But we'll give you the information also to know about the various fire safety equipments that I told you. And also we are here to create the awareness. Give me the next slide. What is fire? That's very important for all of us to know what is fire. Aag kya hai? We will definitely, I know people all around there will speak in English and Hindi both so that everybody should understand. Aag kya hai? If I read out the definition just for a verbal, but I will actually explain what is fire as per the experience also. If verbal definition is a process in which substance combine chemical with oxygen from the air and typically give out bright light, heat and smoke, combustions or burning. See the fire triangle. There is one top is shown a heat, then oxygen, fuel. It means this is a verbal. It means we want you to understand aag jab lagti hai, when the fire to play, there are three things which get involved. Dhatu, matlab any material, oxygen and definitely ignition. Ignition could be heat, it could be from sun also. Because many times you have seen there are many urban areas, rural areas where the grass get dries at some level of percentage and suddenly there was full of sunlight is there. In a school time, if you remember, when we learn, there was if you learn that how to burn your paper with the sunlight, we used to take one lens and we used to just object it towards the paper and the rays comes and it start burning. What is there? That was a minimum example, like already atmospheric air, oxygen is there. Material you were having in hand, that is your paper. And the ignition you take it from sunlight through the lens. Fire took place. I want Mr. Arun to explain it more.
जैसा कि अभी परितोष सर ने बताया आपको कि फायर क्या है. फायर क्या है? फायर एक केमिकल रिएक्शन है. किसके बीच में है केमिकल रिएक्शन? केमिकल रिएक्शन
The fire is a chemical reaction between air and जो भी जलने वाला पदार्थ है, ऑयल इंक्लूडिंग कोई भी आइटम्स, और ABC, A ऑक्सीजन, B फ्यूल एंड C टेम्परेचर। तीन चीजों के ऊपर हमारी फायर बेस होती है हमेशा। जब तीनों चीजें, ये ट्रायंगल कंप्लीट होता है A, B एंड C, तो फायर क्रिएट हो जाती है। अब छोटा सा मोटिव है इसमें कि जब फायर क्रिएट होगी तो हम उसको डोज कैसे करेंगे, उसको बुझाएं कैसे, और इसी मूल मंत्र में से सारी चीजें निकलती है हमारी। जो A, B और C का हमारा ट्रायंगल है, इन तीनों चीजों के ऊपर बेस है हमारी पूरी फायर का, कि किस तरह से ये फायर हमारी क्रिएट होती है, किस तरह से ये फायर्स हम डोज कर सकते हैं। लाइक दैट A, B और C तीनों मिलके फायर को क्रिएट करती है। अब आप सपोज करिए उनमें से एक को हटा दिया, लाइक हमने टेम्परेचर को टेम्परेचर को खत्म कर दिया। वहां से टेम्परेचर का काम है उसको प्रॉपर हीट प्रदान करके और उसको वापस आपको बरकरार रखना। यहाँ पर क्या होता है, जब भी हम देखते हैं कि कभी लकड़ी में या किसी कागज के टुकड़े में या कोई ऐसा सामान जो बहुत ही सिंपल होता है उसमें आग लग जाती है, तो हम क्या करते हैं, उसमें पानी डाल देते हैं। उसका मोटिव क्या है? उसका मोटिव सिर्फ इतना है, उस पानी डालने का, जो भी वाटर हम डालते हैं उसके ऊपर, कि उसका जो टेम्परेचर है वो खत्म हो जाए और वो जो आग है वो बुझ जाए, फायर डोज हो जाए। इसी तरह से जब हम कभी देखते हैं कि कई बार ऐसा होता है कि किसी व्यक्ति में फायर लग जाती है, कोई आदमी के कपड़ों में आग लग गई, कोई व्यक्ति है जिसके कपड़ों में आग लगी है, तो हम अक्सर उसको एक ब्लैंकेट से ढक देते हैं चारों तरफ से और उसको दबा देते हैं। वाई? वो इसलिए कि जो ऑक्सीजन की सप्लाई, जो एयर उसको मिल रही है जिससे वो लगातार कपड़ों में आग लगी हुई है, उसकी सप्लाई को हम ब्रेक कर दें बीच में से। उस सप्लाई को ब्रेक करने से क्या होगा कि जो ऑक्सीजन उसको मिल रही थी, जो जलने के लिए सबसे महत्वपूर्ण पार्ट है A, B और C में से, उसको हमने हटा दिया तो वो आग वहां पर डोज हो गई। सेम टू सेम ऐसे ही हम थर्ड पार्ट पे आ जाते हैं, जिसमें थर्ड पार्ट होता है फ्यूल या कोई भी ऐसा जलने वाला पदार्थ। अब देखने वाली बात यह है कि ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे फायर क्रिएट होती है। आई थिंक यू वेल अंडरस्टैंड हिंदी। मिक्स, ओके मिक्स। तो ग्राउंड फ्लोर पर फायर क्रिएट हुई, आग लगी, और वही आग चौथी मंजिल तक पहुंच गई, 4th फ्लोर तक चली गई। अब सवाल यहां पर यह खड़ा होता है, क्वेश्चन ये है कि जो ग्राउंड फ्लोर पर फायर लगी वो 4th फ्लोर पर कैसे पहुंची? अब इस बात का जवाब हमें चाहिए कि जब ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे फायर लगी है और 4th फ्लोर पे पहुंच गई है फायर, तो ऐसा क्या था जिसके अंदर ऐसे हादसा हुआ कि चौथे फ्लोर तक फायर हो गई और चारों बिल्डिंगें पूरी तरह जल गई? उसको फायर को कंट्रोल करना भी मुश्किल हो गया। अब मैं आपको बताता हूं, और आपको ये हमेशा याद रखना है, ये पॉइंट रहेगा जो, क्योंकि ये हम घर में, फैक्ट्रीज में, स्कूल्स में, हर जगह जहां पर हमें ऐसा लगता है कि यहाँ पर स्पेस का इश्यू है तो हम स्टेयर्स यूज कर लेते हैं। तो क्या हुआ था, उस बिल्डिंग में नीचे खिलौनों का गोदाम था जिसमें छोटे बच्चों के खिलौने रखे थे, प्लास्टिक आइटम्स के। और उन्होंने क्या किया कि गोदाम जब भर गया तो उन्होंने स्टेयर्स के ऊपर अपनी कुछ फाइलें और कुछ उसी टॉयज टाइप के आर्टिकल्स रखते हुए 4th फ्लोर तक रखे। जब ग्राउंड फ्लोर पर फायर क्रिएट हुई, तो जब ग्राउंड फ्लोर से फायर दरवाजे को जलाते हुए बाहर निकली, तो जो स्टेयर्स के ऊपर बर्निंग आइटम्स रखे थे, स्टेयर्स पे बर्निंग आइटम्स थे, उनके थ्रू वो फायर 2nd फ्लोर, 3rd फ्लोर और 4th फ्लोर तक चली गई। जब तक फायर सर्विस वहां पर नहीं पहुंची तब तक 4th फ्लोर तक फायर पहुंच चुकी थी। तो जब तक हम A, B और C के अंदर से एक चीज को हटा नहीं देते हैं, उसको रिमूव नहीं कर देते हैं, तब तक हमारी फायर का बुझना नामुमकिन है। ये एक ऐसा पॉइंट है जिसके लिए आपको हमेशा याद रखना पड़ेगा। अगर आपने इसके अंदर जरा भी कोताही करी तो आप उसमें कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाएंगे फायर, क्योंकि कभी भी कोई आग बड़ी नहीं होती, पहले वो छोटी होती है, उसके बाद वो बड़ी होती है। फर्स्ट टाइम स्मॉल फायर, आफ्टर दैट कंटिन्यूअस बिग साइज, बड़ा रूप धारण करती है वो। जब वो छोटी फायर होती है तो उसी समय अगर हम उसको डोज कर दे तो वो खत्म हो जाती है। अब एक दूसरा एग्जांपल लेते हैं हम यहाँ पर फ्यूल का। फ्यूल या हम कहें कि कोई भी ऐसा चलने वाला पदार्थ। अब एक गोदाम में आग लगी है और उसके साथ में दूसरा गोदाम भी है। हुआ क्या है, टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज होता है जब फायर क्रिएट होती है तो 100 डिग्री से वो भी टेम्परेचर चला जाता है, जो वॉल्स है वो हीट हो जाती हैं। तो क्या होता है कि जब वो हीट होने लगती है और सेकंड पार्ट में जहां पर दूसरी साइड है ऑडिबल, जो दूसरी साइड है वहां पर हम क्या करते हैं कि जितना भी जलने वाला पदार्थ है, जैसे कि एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल लेते हैं कि 4 सोफा सेट रखे हुए हैं, 4 सोफा सेट रखे हुए हैं, उनमें से एक सोफा सेट में आग लग गई, फायर क्रिएट हो गई और उस एक सोफा सेट की आग बुझाने के लिए हम सक्षम नहीं है। मतलब वो आग इतनी बड़ी है, बड़े स्तर पे है कि हम उसको बुझा नहीं सकते। तो हम क्या करेंगे, हम वहां से उस आइटम्स को रिमूव कर देंगे जो आइटम उसके साथ लग के आग को बड़ा कर सकता है। ये परिस्थितियां कब पैदा होंगी, जब हमें ये लगता है कि ये आग इतनी बड़ी है कि अब इसको कंट्रोल नहीं करना हम नहीं कर सकते इसको कंट्रोल। तो उन परिस्थितियों हम क्या करते हैं कि उस आइटम्स को जो उसके साथ अब आग लग जाएगी उसमें, तो उसको हम रिमूव कर देते हैं वहां से। उससे क्या होता है कि आग भूखी मर जाती है, उसको बोलते हैं आग का भूखा मारना।
Yeah, Girija, may I request if you can go to the same slide which was earlier there? Yeah, no. Yeah, this one. Okay. Now, as I like to tell you, like Mr. Arun has shared his views about fire, like how it get created, how we can save, and what we have to do about as per his experience, wherever he has gone and taken control on a disaster. But you can only take a control if you are aware about how many types of fire, how it is classified, and what type of extinguisher being used as per the classification of a fire. If you are seeing this chart in front of you, it's a very basic chart and you can really learn it. There are class of fires, class A. This is the basic knowledge which you can learn, because there are, as I told you earlier also, disaster is not a small word, it's a very big, wide knowledge and different, and every day there is a new learning on a new type of disasters. But today we are talking about fire, so I just want you to learn class of fire and type of extinguisher to be used on the class of fire. Classes of fires are divided into as shown in the chart: class A, class B, class C, class D, definitely electrical, and class F, which is the cooking oil. Generally, when you go for a training or might be in your corporate, if somebody is online from a Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, everywhere, you might have always been shown that there are A, B, C. People even don't talk about D fire, which is also very important. Now, what is class A fire? Class A fire, Hindi में बोलते हैं इसको आम तरह की आग. General, English में general fire. General fire means it can be from with your clothes, something paper in your house, waste management lying in your house, or a corporate office or in office from a long time. People are not looking after that and it gets a fire hazard. What we do in office, there are a lot of scraps and all, we always put in a corner. And what we put in a corner, it means we will see, or afterwards we will call some scrap vendor and we'll do the needful. But then when time goes off, it gets bulky and it is very risky. You should immediately shred the papers. There are many shredded vendors like those who are collected them, and all waste management team is there in all states. So you should destroy and you should clear all the scrap immediately. As soon as possible, you can plan for it, which will avoid your class A type of fire. Class B fire. Class B fire is your oil, flammable liquids. What are the liquids? Earlier time, when we used to, you might have heard, मेरे बचपन में तो in my childhood we have a stove. फूक मार के चलाना पड़ता था. आपने भी किया होगा. किसने किया है भाई? कोई अनम्यूट करके बता सकता है कि मैंने भी वो स्टोव जलाया हुआ. मैंने तो जलाया है. किसी ने जलाया? कोई अनम्यूट करके बताओ सर, मैंने भी जलाया. Anybody?
मैंने भी जलाया।
अरे वेरी गुड। क्या नाम है सर आपका?
मैंने भी जलाया सर, मैंने भी।
सर आपका नाम?
सर मी टू, मैंने भी बचपन में बहुत जलाया है।
ओहो, मतलब गैस, इसका मतलब है गैस तो जलाने वाले हमारे साथ काफी हैं, पर अब नहीं जलते हैं। तो I really happy that at least people have acknowledged, because I tell you that is one very risky time. Fuel, kerosene, आग लग जाए, गैस, वो स्टोव को जलाते जाते कई बार ऐसे बैलेंस खराब हो जाता था, कर्टन है, कपड़ा है, it's kind of flammable, there's a liquid fire. Sometime in a corporate office I talk about, then there are something the department knows as a housekeeping, which is known as a soft services. We procure, in a corporate, people procure a lot of chemicals, consumables to clean the floor, their washrooms, their mats and all, like, 101 chemical and all, their R class chemicals, K class chemicals are there. And as per our training to them, when we go to the corporate office, we always tell them to always place their liquid down, somewhere down. Many times we have seen people have procured the chemicals and they procure on a height, which is very risky, because as per the NBC Act and as per the safety norms, you should never put the chemical cans, bottles on a height. Height पे जब आप रखते हैं, whenever you go, if you want to take it out, it can be spilled, गिर सकता है, which can turn to any disaster. मैन मेड डिजास्टर ये है कि अगर आप उसमें कह रहे हो, आप स्लिप भी हो सकते हैं, आग लगे कोई लिक्विड है, लिक्विड आइस हमेशा स्लिपरी इफेक्ट होता है, आप गिर सकते हैं। नहीं तो अगर आपका कोई गैस का काम
Hello, is it audible now?
please fill me the 1000 piece petrol. But what safety says, whenever you reach to the petrol pump, switch off your engine. Switch off, don't switch off your mobile, but do not talk on mobile. It has rays. There are many. We will not go in the depth, but if the safety norms is there, I request everyone, those who are online, please teach your friends, families, that whenever they go for filling up petrol in your bikes, car, scooters, anywhere, switch off the engine and then get the petrol or diesel filled. These are the safety norms. That is also comes in the class B fire.
Yes,
Now I talk about class C fire. It is gases, as well as you can also take it as an electrical fire, which we have shown separately after class G. Class C fire comes from the gases. There are many big gas plants in south, even in the north and all. There are a lot of safety tips and safety precautions being taken over there. If gas get leaked, it is very difficult to actually control that disaster, but definitely in India we have a very expert team. We have a lot of different methods, SOPs, SDPs, that such incident should not happen, because whenever the gas line being laid down, even for residential areas, there might be many residential area. आजकल IPL gas कई Indraprasth gas, and all people are laying line under the road, and definitely then. But I have many here where I have seen, if the gas line is laid down under the road, it should be marked with a yellow plate. But there are many where the plates are missing. If people knows about it, so my request the administration part also to definitely take care of it. If the marking is missing, people it should be marked immediately, so that people should be aware that the gas line is going on. Same way, biggest gas industries, where there are a lot of industries also who use typical gases for their forgings or for their industry growth and all. They should take all the safety precautions. And it, as I told you, the electricity, when you are sitting in an office, there could be a small short circuit which can turn to the major fire. There also class C, that also can be turned to class C. If I talk about class D, A is a general, B is a oil and liquid fire, class C is a gas and electricity, and class D, if I'll talk about, इस स्टेज तक पहुंचने तक, when we reach to this stage, it means it is beyond a human control. It's like it beyond our control, our first aid control. It means the expertise people will only control the class D fire because it is known as a metal fire. Abhi latest last year I saw कि in Gurgaon there is a building known as an JP Jindal building behind Fortis Hospital. At sector 23, yeah. 23, entire building got fire. We'll share the pictures of that also with you. We'll share the pictures with Girija will definitely share with you. Entire building got burned, entire, because as per the safety norms, the building should be well equipped with all fire safety pumps, motors, and in operational mode. There are something known as sprinkler lines, not in a houses, in a corporate office, that should always be charged, and it's a duty of a building manager, or it's a duty of a, if you are not in charge of an entire building, but you are in charge of one floor where your company works, you should get in touch with the building manager of that building where you have located your office. Show me the sprinkler lines and tell me it is charged or not, and with what type, how many pressure, how much pressure it is being charged. That's very important. I told you it's a very wide, but we are just here to give you a basic. Pressure कितना है sprinkler lines में, because उसमें एक mercury का tube होता है जो 68 डिग्री सेल्सियस पे पहुंचने पे अपने में ऑटो में बर्स्ट हो जाता है, और then accordingly वो 360 डिग्री एंगल में एक वाटर कर्टन बना देता है, which saves your life, which saves your assets. But you have to ensure, if you are in office, the sprinkler lines are well laid down and they are being charged, and that can be only known, you can get to know from the particular building in charge or administration of that building. It can be, but it's very important. And inside your office, you must keep a type of extinguisher, which we are going to try tell you right now as per the classification. Just for the safety, get the fire audit done from for your office, for your if you are a building, the entire building or floors, and procure the extinguishers on time, which will at least help you in a first aid. Now, as I talk to you about class A, class B, class C, class D. Class A fire mein, you can use water type fire because it's a general fire. It has no current, it has no oil, nothing. Water type extinguisher. देखा पहले आग लगती है, आजकल वो फिल्मों में, एक मैंने वो आमिर खान की फिल्म देखी थी लगान, आग लगती है बस्ती में, पानी की बाल्टियों से डालना शुरू कर देते हैं, लेकिन आम तरह की आग को अब पानी की बाल्टी के सिवा जो रेत, सैंड, सी शोर के आसपास सैंड बहुत होता है, लोग बोर हो जाते हैं सैंड देख के, बट सैंड इज वेरी वैल्यूएबल. सैंड कैन डिस्पोज ऑफ योर फायर. और वाटर, सैंड, कई बार आप देखो अपने ऑफिस में एक वाटर बकेट and 2 water bucket and 1 sand bucket is always standby to fight with the general fire. Yes. आपके घर में कोई आग लगता है, पानी डालिए जनरल फायर में, इलेक्ट्रिक फायर में, जनरल फायर में पानी डालिए, वो बुझ जाती है. कपड़े में आग लगे, पानी डालिए, बुझ जाती है. लेकिन कभी भी बिजली की आग शॉर्ट सर्किट हुई है, वहां पानी नहीं डालना. प्लीज नोट दिस. हम इस ट्रेनिंग में आपको ये पानी डालने के लिए सिर्फ जनरल टाइप की फायर में बता रहे हैं. वी आर ओनली वांट यू टू लर्न दैट ओनली जनरल टाइप ऑफ फायर. आम तरह की आग जो कि कपड़ा, लकड़ी, कत्ता, कोयला, आप इसमें पानी से आग बुझा सकते हैं, और किसी भी तरह की आग को पानी से ना बुझाएं. एंड सपोज आपकी कपड़े की आग लगी जो कि जनरल फायर है, लेकिन वो फायर, दैट फायर हैज रीच्ड टू अ सम लेवल वेयर इलेक्ट्रिकल पॉइंट्स आर देयर. डू नॉट पोर वाटर देयर. देन switch off your main MCB of your house. Switch off your main floor, if you are in office, floor main MCB, so that electricity is being cut out. And if you are overall in charge of the building, immediately the gang operating switch, geo switch, which is outside of your building, has to be pulled down so that the supply is cut. And that can be only done in offices if you have a watch system, if you have a ERT team available in your emergency rescue team. You have to design emergency rescue team in your office, in your corporates, in your building. If you are if you're working in some SEZ buildings or any particular floor, emergency rescue team must be there in your office. If you are at home, if you are a house lady, if all the kids, those who are adults and they are alone at their home, please, I repeat, if there is general fire, normal fire took place, do not rush, do not panic. Normal fire pe aap pani dal ke, you can pour the water and clear the fire. But if that general fire is reaching to any electrical point, I'm repeating it again so that you should grab it. You should not be confused. If any general fire reaches to the point where electrical point is there, do not pour water. Do not pour water where if general fire reach to the electrical point. Then first of all, don't panic and immediately presence of mind and switch off your MCBs, right? So this is a general fire, which can be maximum cause at schools, hospital, offices, and shops, right? Now, we'll talk about B, like chemical fire, chemical and liquid fire, which is a kind of liquid fire you have to distinguish by the foam type extinguisher. Actually, if anybody has a pen, you can note down. It is known as an AFFF. It is very easy to learn. If somebody asks you if I got a fire with from oil or chemical and all, which type of extinguisher I can use? The small is foam, but actually foam is, you can immediately write its alphabets AFFF. AFFF. It is a foam type extinguisher, which is being known as aqueous film forming foam type extinguishers. How it is being used, definitely, which that will be told to you by Mr. Arun. As water type, you can use a 45-degree angle. Foam type, you don't have to spread it directly. When the demonstration will be given by Mr. Arun, you will get to know how you have to use, because foam type is always have to float from the nearby wall to the fire position so that it can cut down the oxygen. That you will see when the actually live demonstration will give. Now, if I talk about C type of fire, it is a flammable gases. It could be electrical also. That is in a dry type. This is known as DCP. This extinguisher is coded as a navy blue color. But this time, today's scenario, all the extinguisher colors are red and being given a marking ABC and all. Otherwise, earlier, water type was red with the marking, foam type was red with the upper orange marking, dry type was a navy blue, CO2 was a entire black and a silver coat on top. But right, today's scenario, all the extinguishers are red color and being marked with the signages what type of extinguisher it is. So DCP is a dry chemical powder which can be used in the metal fire also and also electrical fire also. But actually, if you talk about CO2 extinguisher, which is basically meant for the electrical fire. Anytime any short circuit is there, if you see all these ticks we have marked as per the classification of fire, if you see this chart, classification of fire and the type of extinguisher, we have marked the green one. And the cross has given that this type of extinguisher, this type of fire, it should not be used. So you can go through this chart and accordingly CO2, once again I'll repeat, water type extinguisher for a class A fire, foam type AFFF for the class B fire, dry type for class C, as well as you can use in an electrical also sometime. But the actual extinguisher which is to be used for electrical fire is CO2, carbon dioxide. Girijak, may I request if you can share next slide? We'll show you all these extinguisher live. This is kind of an extinguisher. We just have small pictures. Actually, not this type of signage being placed on a sign. We have a live extinguisher with us. We will show you at last. It is being same. It is linked to the same slide which I told you. Water type and for users and where you don't have to use. It is being mentioned on there. Like again, repeat, I can say wood, paper and all. Bright type is for flammable liquid, gases, electrical. Foam is for this, and do not use in electrical fire. Foam cannot be used on electrical fire. You have to learn this. Electrical fire is a very dangerous fire. So do not use any type of extinguisher anywhere. Especially do not pour water when you have an electrical fire. Have a presence of mind, switch off the power supply switch first. Then only fight any type of fire. Girija, next slide, please. This is a kind of, this slide is very simple, like the fire is going on and this, like in a places of fire. Basically, here we want to teach you कि कहाँ आग लगती है. घर में, you have seen, ये घर भी हो सकता है, कंपनी भी हो सकती है, and top causes of fire. As I told you, and Arun ji, जैसे I want you Arun ji to explain this slide कि top causes की आग लगने के सबसे ज्यादा कारण किस चीज के होते हैं. If you see, cooking में 40% सबसे ज्यादा घर में, ये घर में भी हो सकता है, आपके कॉर्पोरेट की पेंट्रीज में भी हो सकता है. अरुण जी, मैं if you can please show this.
थैंक यू परितोष जी. तो सबसे पहले हम होम से ही शुरू करते हैं, घर से. तो ऐसा क्यों हुआ कि घर में 40% का रेशो हमारे पास आ रहा है? ऐसा क्यों हुआ कि हम कुछ नेग्लिजेंसीज करते हैं घर के अंदर, हम अवॉइड कर देते हैं उन चीजों को जो हमारे लिए घातक होती है. वो कौन सी ऐसी चीजें हैं जिनको करने से हम अपने परिवार को, अपने बच्चों को, अपने बड़े बुजुर्गों को, सभी को सुरक्षित कर सकते हैं? तो कुछ ऐसे पॉइंट्स हैं, अगर हम उनको फॉलो अप करें तो बहुत ही बेटर रिजल्ट आपके सामने होंगे. और एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल लेने के बाद हम इस पे वापस आएंगे टॉपिक पे. एक बिल्डिंग थी 3 फ्लोर की, उसमें 3rd फ्लोर पे फायर हुआ. फायर कितने बजे हुआ? सुबह 6:30 बजे फायर हुआ. अब अचानक सुबह 6:30 बजे आग का लगना बड़ा अजीब सा लगा कि ऐसा क्या हुआ कि सुबह 6:30 बजे आग लग गई. तो वहां पे मौके पे पहुंचे तो वहां थोड़ा सा हादसा भी काफी दर्दनाक था वो, और उसको ज्यादा एक्सप्लेन करना मुनासिब नहीं है क्योंकि उसमें कुछ कैजुअलिटीज क्रिएट हुई थी जो कि बहुत ही बुरी अवस्था में थी, और एक 5-6 महीने का बच्चा भी था. तो बड़ी दिक्कत हुई वहां पर हमें भी, क्योंकि ऐसे दृश्य को देखने के बाद थोड़ी सी दिक्कत होती है. ह्यूमन पीपल है सभी लोग, तो दिक्कत आ जाती है. पर एनीवे, कम टू द पॉइंट. जब हमने वहां पर रिसर्च की और पता लगाया कि ये फायर क्रिएट कैसे हुई, तो हमें पता लगा कि रात को वो करीब उनकी मदर, उनके फादर, उनके हस्बैंड, वो खुद और उनके 2 बच्चे, टोटल 6 पर्सन थे उस घर के अंदर. हुआ ये था कि रात के समय जब कुकिंग काम खत्म हो गया किचन का, तो वो सभी सोने के लिए चले गए, मगर रात को उन्होंने रेगुलेटर को ऑफ नहीं किया, और रेगुलेटर में लीकेज थी. रेगुलेटर में लीकेज की वजह से जब उस रूम्स को बंद कर दिया गया, विंडोज को क्लोज कर दिया गया, तो वो जितनी भी गैस लीक हुई वो सारी उस किचन के अंदर, उस सराउंडिंग एरिया के अंदर ही स्टोर हो गई, वो कहीं नहीं गई. अब छोटी सी बात है, आप अपने विचार से, अपनी थिंकिंग से देखिएगा कि जब आप कहीं भी अपने घर में जब सुबह उठते हैं तो या तो आप सबसे पहले वॉशरूम की तरफ जाते हैं या किचन की तरफ जाते हैं चाय बनाने के लिए या कुछ भी करने के लिए. तो उन्होंने क्या किया, वो किचन में गए, उनकी जो वाइफ थी वो किचन में गई और उन्होंने जाके सीधा स्विच ऑन किया लाइट का स्विच ऑन किया. लाइट का स्विच ऑन होते ही फायर क्रिएट हो गई ऑन द स्पॉट. एकदम से फायर क्रिएट हो गई और इतनी ज्यादा आग फैली कि बड़ा मुश्किल हो गया था उनको कंट्रोल करना. उसमें करीब 3 कैजुअलिटीज हुई थी टोटल. और सारी चीजों का निष्कर्ष करने के बाद क्या रिजल्ट आया कि ये जो हादसा हुआ इसका जिम्मेदार सिर्फ वही व्यक्ति है जिसने रात को नॉब नहीं बंद किया. मैं ये नहीं कहूंगा कि एक महिला की ही जिम्मेदारी होती है, ऐसा नहीं है. परिवार के अंदर, अपने घर के अंदर किसी भी काम को करने के लिए हर व्यक्ति जिम्मेदार होता है, चाहे वो कोई भी हो. अगर एक महिला अपने काम में इतनी व्यस्त रहती है कि वो पूरा कंसंट्रेशन एक चीज पर नहीं कर सकती है, तो अगले जो उसके परिवार के सदस्य वो भी उसको रीचेक कर सकते हैं. ऐसा नहीं है कि वही करे. और सबसे बड़ी बात ये थी कि उसको स्मेल नहीं आई, क्योंकि वो थोड़ा सा नींद में थी, वो सोकर उठी थी, तो इस वजह से वो स्मेल को भी पकड़ नहीं पाई और ये हादसा क्रिएट हुआ और काफी नुकसान भी हुआ। तो सिर्फ एक चीज, रात को उसने सिर्फ एक रेगुलेटर चेक नहीं किया, उसका उसे कितना बड़ा हर्जाना फाइन भुगतना पड़ा, आप देखिए, क्योंकि लाइफ लॉस से बड़ा लॉस कोई नहीं होता। तो मैं समझ सकता हूं कि आप लोग, मैं जहां आपको पहुंचाना चाहता हूं वहां पर पहुंच रहे हैं, कि जब भी रात के समय आप लोग सोते हैं तो सबसे पहले आपने अपना रेगुलेटर चेक करना है, और उस रेगुलेटर के अंदर एक पाइप लगी होती है जो उसको, जिसको बर्नर बोलते हैं, वहां तक जाती है। तो आपने उस पाइप के अंदर एक एक्सपायर डेट होती है, उसको भी चेक करना है, उस पाइप की एक्सपायर डेट को रीड करना है, और जब उसकी डेट एक्सपायर हो जाती है तो उसको चेंज करना है बिना किसी भी देरी के। आपने उसको चेंज कर देना, उसमें डेट लिखी होगी, इस डेट के बाद ये यूज के लायक नहीं है और ये एक्सपायर हो चुकी है, सो यू कैन प्लीज चेंज। आप उसको चेंज कर सकते हो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं।
I must say this is the subject we has shared, Arun ji has shared right now, is a very important part. As I am very much agreed with him, it's not the only duty of a housewife or a working wife that to rush every time together and do all the house needful things, and definitely she gets stressed. It's a duty of an entire family. Let it be fathers, mothers, father-in-law, mother-in-law, son, if he is adult, and husband, to give their hands along with their wife and help her, so that just to avoid stress and to avoid such kind of mishappenings. I am sure it will never happen, but still. And the most important said कि हम लोग वो gas की, the pipe he's talking about, actually it has an expiry date. But what we do in a general terms, आज लगा था ठीक है चल रहा है, it will work. अभी कोई मुझे तो कट नहीं लग रहा, I am not feeling any cut, चल जाएगा। आगे से वो टिप थोड़ा सा कटिंग आ जाता, कहता है इसको चाकू से ले, cut it from the knife and again put it on, लेंथ छोटा कर दो। It's all small thing. I mean people might be laughing on this, क्योंकि हम भी करते थे बचपन में। फादर साहब ने कहा ना नहीं इसको काट, कट इट डाउन यार, और फिर से घुसा दे, देख नहीं हो गई, वेरी बैड। But when we learn, definitely we also have to take care of all this thing. That is what we want you all to also, if you feel like this is a very important part, so definitely when we will go out of this topics and finish this presentation, actually the first thing you should go and check in your kitchen, I hope my pipe is good condition. But you have no authority to check it in good condition. If it is more than 6 months, at least call your gas cylinder agency team to check whether this pipe is okay or not, because sometimes there are small pore holes which you cannot trace. Take my words, you cannot trace. Okay, Girija, next slide please. Same as causes of fire, will not waste the time because we have a live demonstration also. Same about, this is all about kitchen area. How fires take place, and 48% fires being reported from the cooking and gas cylinder busted and all. Next slide, please. This is very important slide. Tips to follow to avoid fire takes place at your home or your office pantries. Definitely in office pantries, these days we don't allow gas cylinder to be used in pantries. To be very honest, because there is an electrical stove has come down in the market and all. This is for the safety. Remove the source of heat. Arun ji ने जैसे बताया आपको, remove the source of heat means आग लगने के तीन ही कारण, there are three main: oxygen, material, and ignition, heat. Right? Any one thing that will get removed, fire will not take place. When all these three things get together, fire takes place. किसी एक चीज को निकाल दीजिए. And what extinguisher does? It does the same thing. Whenever you extinguish fire, definitely what it happens, it cut down the atmospheric air, it cut down the oxygen. Only material is there, ignition there, but oxygen चली जाती है, तो definitely fire goes away. Definitely fire बुझ जाती है. तो fire extinguisher का main काम oxygen cut करने का होता है. Same way, as I told, remove the source of heat. One remove material हटा दीजिए. आग बढ़ रही है, सैंड कर ले लगा दिए. There are different topics. We will show you live demonstration. Cover the lid oil with the metal lid. आपके जहाँ पे ऑयल है उसको अच्छे से ढक्कन से बंद करके रखिए. Pour baking soda generously over smaller grease fire. मतलब एनी किचन में अगर छोटी मोटी वो करते हैं, अभी कई बार देखते हैं वो छौंक लगाते हैं तो कई बार एकदम आग का, you know, in restaurants also people feel very, oh, see what a flame comes when he's cooking our food in restaurant. They brings a platter for you with a full burn and smoke. You feel very happy, but actually it can turn to the disaster. But we feel very happy when अरे यार platter लेके आना जिसमें धुआं निकल रहा है, the smoke निकल रहा है. So don't do that. Class B dry chemical extinguishers, definitely. ऑयल और केमिकल में क्लास बी. रेस्टोरेंट्स एंड आपके घर में भी आजकल छोटे छोटे एक्सटिंग्विशर मार्केट में आ गए. यू शुड बाय एंड कीप इट ऑन. इफ द एस्केप एंड कॉल मींस इफ यू फील लाइक दिस general fire took place to the major fire, then please don't feel like you are expert. Immediately call the fire, immediately dial 100, call the police, dial 101, call the fire extinguishers and other emergency numbers and come out of your house. Do not be a Spider-Man. Do not transfer the burning pot anywhere. Sometimes what we happen कि कोई चीज जल रही थी, something is burning, हम उसको पैर मारते हैं. This is very wrong. या हम we always become धर्मेंद्र and दारा सिंह and हम उसको कपड़ा लेके उठा के कहीं बाहर ऐसे फेंक देते हैं कि अंदर आग ना लगे. So that our fire should not take place inside. But what happened if something dry is outside and you are just throwing that pot or throwing that burning cloth to somewhere and it can catch the major fire? Don't do that. Pour a good amount of water on top of it. First of all, make it wet and then only. Do not throw, just place it outside somewhere near where there is no burning material is available. And ghar mein, if at your home any grease or it takes fire, stand by the baking powder, just pour it on. It works like a foam type extinguisher. Next slide, please, Girija. Heating, we have already told you. Like, so next slide, please. Electrical fires, we have told you electrical fires, what are they? There could be a short circuit, this could be a major and all. Major, you can say your meter room or your where your meter installed, where a lot of MCBs are installed. You must get your MCB's panel, your DB panel, your LDB panel, PDB panels checked by the experts time to time. At least I must say, if not, you cannot get it checked monthly or 3 monthly, get it checked 6 monthly so that you are safe. And whenever you make a house, I bless you all. Definitely you those who are staying on a rent or those who have already made a house, I am sure about the cables are being laid down according to the safeties. Next, smoking. We have at least 70% of smokers with us, but actually smoking is injurious to health. It's mentioned on their box. But smoking and throwing birds anywhere, smoking and I repeat, and throwing birds anywhere creates a disaster, fire disaster. Whoever we are, if anybody, any smoker is online, try to avoid it. And if you cannot avoid it, at least if when you smoke, आप उसे अच्छे से बुझाएं and then उसको किसी ऐसे डस्टबिन में या जहाँ पे सैंड हो या फिर पानी, उसमें आप उसको बुझाएं. That will help us to avoid any fire disaster. Many times when I was driving on a National Highway 1 or National Highway 8, sometimes suddenly a cigarette burst comes to me and it gets over. Because आगे वाली गाड़ी का कोई बंदा cigarette पी रहा है, he's smoking, and at the last he's throwing the puff out, golden puff out, or वो ignited golden puff, which is very risky. Do not do that part also. Next slide. Next slide, please. Candles. Everybody knows. कई बार सप्लाई चली जाती है. आजकल तो we have emergency light. अरुण जी, आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे कैंडल्स?
कैंडल्स के लिए मेरे पास एक है मैटर छोटा सा, तो मैं सभी के साथ शेयर करना चाहूंगा कि कैंडल जब भी बाई चांस लाइट चली जाती है तो कुछ ग्रामीण क्षेत्र है, कुछ शहरी क्षेत्रों से दूर के क्षेत्र हैं जिनके अंदर लाइट की या इन्वर्टर की सुविधा थोड़ी कम होती है, जो बाहरी क्षेत्र कहलाते हैं उस मेट्रो सिटीज के, तो वहां पर क्या करते हैं लोग, कहीं पर कोई दिया जला लेता है, जैसे कि दीपावली के समय पे हम दिया जलाते हैं, या कोई कैंडल जला लेता है, या सर्दियों के समय में क्या होता है जब ज्यादा सर्दी लगती है तो हम हीटर का यूज कर लेते हैं। ये तीनों जो आर्टिकल्स हैं, ये आर्टिकल्स हमें इस बात को दर्शाते हैं कि क्या हो रहा है वहां पर ऑक्सीजन भी है, वहां पर हीट भी है, मगर वहां पर कोई भी मटेरियल नहीं है, कोई भी ऑयल या फ्यूल नहीं है। तो इस कंडीशन में क्या होगा, आप देखिए जब एक कैंडल जलती है तो उसके उसके पास ऑक्सीजन भी होती है, उसके पास टेम्परेचर भी होता है, बस उसे क्या चाहिए, एक मटेरियल चाहिए जो उसको मिल जाए और जल जाए। और इसका सीधा सा और सरल जवाब क्या है कि जब भी कोई ऐसा आइटम जैसे कैंडल है, हीटर है, या प्रेस इतनी ज्यादा ओवरहीट नहीं होती है पर कभी कभी वो हो जाती है जब हम गलती से रखकर कहीं पर छोड़ दे उसको, तो वो भी इसका एक मुख्य कारण बन सकती है किसी भूल के कारण। वो हमारी कई बार गलती से हो जाता है प्रेस के साथ हादसा, वरना ऐसा जल्दी होता नहीं। ज्यादातर हमारे लिए जो रिस्पॉन्सिबल चीजें हैं, मंदिर का दिया, कैंडल, हीटर्स, ये तीन चीज जो है बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है। और मैं सिर्फ इतना कहना चाहूंगा कि अगर आपका लकड़ी का मंदिर है, बाई चांस कुछ लोग क्या करते हैं, बहुत स्मॉल प्लेसेस में रहते हैं और वो भगवान की पूजा करने के लिए एक मंदिर ले लेते हैं लकड़ी का, और वो लकड़ी का मंदिर लेने के बाद उसमें वो दिया लगाते हैं। आपको ये याद रखना होगा, जब भी कोई दिया किसी चीज पर रखकर आप जलाते हैं या उसको पूजा करते हैं, तब क्या होता है कि जिस सरफेस के ऊपर वो रखा हुआ होता है, वो सरफेस भी नीचे से गर्म होता है, और जिससे अगर वो उतना टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज कर लेगा जितना उसे बर्न होने के लिए चाहिए, तो आप देखेंगे भी नहीं और उधर फायर क्रिएट हो जाएगी। दूसरा कारण, मंदिर में बहुत सारे ऐसे हादसे मैंने देखे हैं जो मंदिर से ही हुए हैं। जो घरों में मंदिर होते हैं, कोई जमीन पर अपना मंदिर बना देता है, कुछ ईंटों का एक चबूतरा सा बना के जिसको बोलते हैं, तो उसमें भी ऐसे हादसे हुए हैं। क्योंकि जो वहां पर हम दिया लगाते हैं उसके टच में कोई ऐसा मटेरियल आ जाता है, चाहे तो वहां पर कोई तस्वीर के ऊपर कोई हमने लाइक चुन्नी टाइप का होता है वो लगा देते हैं, वो उड़ के हवा से उसके पास आ गया और वहां पर पूरी फायर क्रिएट हो गई। दूसरा, हमारा हीटर, रात के समय हम क्या करते हैं कि बहुत सर्दी है आज, इसको नहीं छोड़ देते हैं। ये सबसे बड़ी भूल होती है हमारी, क्योंकि वो एक ऐसा आइटम है जो बहुत हैवी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी गेन करता है, और उसके अंदर कब कौन सी चीज क्रिएट हो जाएगी इस बात की श्योरिटी करना, सुनिश्चित करना मुश्किल है। क्योंकि हीटर कभी भी ओवर हीट होकर या कोई वायर शॉर्ट सर्किट करके उसमें फायर क्रिएट कर सकता है। इसलिए कभी भी सोने के बाद हीटर का उपयोग नहीं करना चाहिए, उसको सोने से पहले स्विच ऑफ करना चाहिए, उसको अनप्लग करना चाहिए। अनप्लग मैं क्यों कह रहा हूं, क्योंकि जब भी हम अनप्लग करेंगे तो हमें ये याद रहेगा कि हमने उसको रिलीज कर दिया है इलेक्ट्रिसिटी से। अब एक मेन पॉइंट जो इन सब चीजों के ऊपर लागू होता है, कोई भी ऐसी चीज जिसके पास ऑक्सीजन भी है, टेम्परेचर भी है, मगर मटेरियल नहीं है, तो वो मटेरियल उससे कितनी फुट की दूरी पे होना चाहिए, कम से कम वो 3 फीट की दूरी पे होना चाहिए। जैसे कि हम एक एग्जांपल लेते हैं, एक कैंडल हमने कहीं पर लगा दी घर में और वहीं पर एक पर्दा लगा हुआ है। अब कोई हवा का झोंका आया और वो पर्दा हवा में उड़ के और उस कैंडल के पास गया, और वहां पर वो जो पर्दा था उसका इस टाइप का मैटर था कि वो वहीं से उसने उसकी फायर को पकड़ लिया और घर में आग लगनी शुरू हो गई। आप किसी और फ्लोर पे थे, वहां पे फायर क्रिएट हो गई और सारा सब कुछ जल गया। ये चीजें हमें याद रखनी होगी जब भी हम कभी भी कोई कैंडल, हीटर, प्रेस को छोड़ देते हैं, मंदिर में जो दिया जलता है उसको जब भी यूज करते हैं, तब हमें उसकी जो कम से कम फीट की दूरी होगी वो 3 फीट की दूरी पर जलाया जाएगा। 3 फीट से कम कोई दूरी नहीं होगी। ये सेफ्टी का पहला सिद्धांत है। घर के अंदर कोई भी आइटम जब हम बर्न करते हैं वहां पर जलाते हैं, चाहे वो कैंडल हो, चाहे हीटर हो, चाहे कोई भी ऐसा। और एक बात मैं फाइनली और कहना चाहूंगा कि एक ओपन हीटर आता है जिसके अंदर स्प्रिंग दिखाई देता है, उसको कभी भी यूज नहीं करना। किसी भी कंडीशन में उसको अप्लाई नहीं करना है, वो कभी भी किसी भी रूप में सेफ नहीं है। उससे बहुत बड़े हादसे हुए हैं और बहुत बड़े हादसे हो सकते हैं अगर आपने उसको कंटिन्यूसली यूज किया तो। उसके अंदर स्प्रिंग लगी होती है और वो स्प्रिंग, उसमें खाना भी बनाते हैं लोग, उसमें कई बार पानी भी गर्म करते हैं। वो एक अनसेफ आइटम है हमारी सोसाइटी के लिए, वो बिल्कुल भी यूज नहीं करना, उसको अवॉइड करना है, क्योंकि वो बहुत लो कॉस्ट पे होता है और लोग इस चक्कर में उसको ले लेते हैं कि हमें फायदा हो जाएगा इससे। वो अवॉइड करना है। तो ये सारी चीजें जो थी ये इस चीज के ऊपर आधारित है कि इन चीजों में कितनी डिस्टेंस होना चाहिए। 3 फीट का डिस्टेंस हमें मेंटेन करना है किसी भी पदार्थ से जो जलने वाला है।
All right, Girija, can I request you for next slide? Fire alarm should be checked every 6 months. As I told you, that basically this is for corporate office and floors, where the people, those who are online from the corporate office, tell your building management to get the fire alarms checked every 6 months. That's very important part. Escape plan should be by everyone and not by everyone. This is, we are talking about the corporates and the buildings, SEZ buildings, normal buildings, floor buildings or builder buildings where you have taken offices. Each office and each floor should have a fire exit plan, and that should be demonstrated on the center of the each floor. And definitely floor wise fire safety wardens to be designed, to be assigned, so that in case if any disaster took place, they should take an action. It's a very wide, like ERT team, as you might have, you remember I spoke something about ERT team, emergency rescue team, or somewhere you can call them QRT team, quick response team. You can call as a team. Each floor or each office, building management should have their ERT team separately, those who will advise and cordon off you in case of any disaster happens. Floor ERT teams or office, particular office ERT team, any 2 or 3 person can be assigned. You are our ERT members. If in case of any disaster happen, they will cordon off the people safely from the office with support of building and floor management team. Next slide, please. Fire extinguisher should be found in the home, but only as a precaution. This is actually, we should say you should procure आजकल एक 1 kg छोटे भी fire extinguishers आते हैं. You must have, sir, but it should not be reachable to the kids because it's very risky also. Only adults should operate it. How you have to operate it, definitely that will be, we will tell you in the demonstration. Very shortly, we are going to show you the demonstration. Can I have a next slide, please? Workplace fire prevention. As we have in between, we have already talked about offices and workplace fire prevention. You should have a fire integration panel. Next slide, please. Each office, you have a fire integration panel must be installed, which should be integrated with the building management main panel. Because in case when you are doing a first aid and you are fighting a fire in your office, if it is an electrical short circuit, you have a small extinguisher with you. Your office fire panel will integrate to the main building panel, and your building management, wherever your office is located, they will get to know that some incident happened in your office. They will rush their ERT team to your office for your support. This is very, very important. No, there should not be any faulty electrical equipment. As I talked to you about LDB, your PDB, power distribution boxes. Okay, your each office, they have it. There are small MCBs which you switch on and switch off as per the location. Conference room MCBs are different. Your pantries are different. Your working areas are different. If you talk about your house, you have one metering panel in your house where the people from DHB and from any electricity board comes and takes out the reading. There you have installed the MCBs also, because whenever you go, you have to switch off the main MCB, or aapki koi ek room ki one room MCB separately, living room MCB separately. That should be checked. They should not be faulty, or do not take an excuse ki baad mein kara lenge. We will do it afterwards. No, if you see your electrical equipments, any electrical equipments in your house, or any wiring or any switches, switchboard is burned. कई बार वो we used to put, आजकल बड़ा ट्रेंड है, मेरे घर में भी होता है, मल्टीपल प्लग लगा दिया कि चलो एक वायर स्पीकर की ऊपर से लगा दी, एक वायर डीवीआर की इधर से लगा दी, एक वायर नीचे से लगा दी. Do not do that. I humbly request. This is all unsafe business. Multiple socket बना दिया, बिक रहा है, ठीक है, but actually if you talk with us, we don't recommend it. Always use a proper fire extension board if you want to use it. Do not put a multiple board socket in a one switch and just start putting a wire inside to get the supply. Next slide, please. Flammable and combustion material. We have already told you, Arun ji ne apne experience se aapko, he has already explained you. Flammable and combustion material in houses, your cloth, wood, paper, anything else for a general fire, and could be oil for B type of fire. Procure it. Definitely you need it in your day-to-day life, but place it in a safe place and somewhere down, not on a top. Next slide, please. Lack of staff training. Here you are. Tigers, I must tell you, lack of staff training in office or a building management team will 100%, take my words, I should not say this, will 100% create a disaster. It could be any type of disaster. Training is not, I am talking about fire safety training. There are many other disasters can happen if the staff of office, or if you are also not aware about the basic safeties. Like we are today, we are telling about the extinguisher, type of extinguisher and which type of fire you have to do it. That's very important, because if you are aware about this, you have taken a training about this, and you are going for a cinema with your family, and there is actually suddenly there a fire took place on a carpet, and where you are sitting just ahead of you, there is a CO2 extinguisher or a general type of fire extinguisher is kept. You have a confidence, you have learning. What you will do, you know, you have a confidence, you will take out the water type extinguisher if it is a water type. You will take out the extinguisher and you will definitely fight with the fire. If it is a small fire, you can control. It's not like to become a hero. No, to save everyone in that cinema hall. But they also have an ERT teams. But if you have a small confidence, you cannot rush. Do not panic. You can control the mob also. You can shout them, please do not panic. Because in a panic, we create more disaster. We get hurt. People start running, which definitely creates a lot of disaster. Like some people, they are very weak from their heart, weak from their mind. Some are old people, could be a ladies on a good news at there. It's not about cinema hall, anywhere in a market also. If you are walking around, suddenly something you take place and you know what is electrical fire. And I hope at present, if I just do an audit where I'm sitting right now, if I audit the 10 shops, I'm not going to see any type of extinguisher they would have also procured. But the motto of this training is not, we are not telling to definitely procure the extinguisher. We are telling if you can, do the needful, procure it and keep it at the safe place at your house. And definitely if you are in office, it's an entire building management. In your floor, you must take an approval and procure at least one extinguisher of each type, each classification of fire. The fire extinguisher you need it, procure it today only, plan it. And train your staff by calling not only ODM in your cities, in your town, everywhere in your country, everywhere there is a team like us, those who are on board in your city to train the people, to enhance their knowledge, definitely teach you how you can avoid any type of disaster. Get the training done by the experts in your office. And if it is you can say society, residential area or environment, you can also reach out to us on our odmindia.org website. We will arrange the trainings for you all around India. And like us, there are many NGOs, those who are into this field. But my question is, and my request is, get your staff, your family members, or your neighborhood or your residential area trained with the basic knowledge how to avoid disasters. Next slide, please. Lack of resource and equipments. Again, every part has a chain, chain. We are connected with each other. If you are getting to know, you get to know which type of extinguisher, where it is to be fired, what kind of disaster, what you have to act. There are few disasters where you don't require any equipment. You need only knowledge. Suppose if we'll go little out of box, if there is a earthquake, there are a different, you don't require any tools, you don't require any equipment, but you should have a knowledge. I have to hide myself in the under the strong table, under the strong any asset, or you have to go towards the corner and put yourself, just squeeze yourself with the corner the more as you can, and tell people also, shout if there is an earthquake, please go to the corners, please go to the corners. There you don't require tools. But in case of fire, definitely you need extinguishers. If definitely you are going to learn about things and your building has not procured the sufficient extinguishers to fight a first aid, then also there are only water can work and sand can work, but you should then plan to evacuate. There are alarm systems, there are procedures, there are SOP, how to get people evacuate from the building to save themselves until the time experts come and they to take over. Next slide, please. Girija, before this is like what we have talked. No. Next slide. Yeah. Girija, as we are continues on speaking and definitely people are listening to us, for a little change, because I don't want people to get bored, because this is very important topic. And
Yes,
I
yes.
must
If
invite,
they have any,
I just got to know,
yes.
Girija, I got to know district judge, Mrs. Aarti has joined us.
Yes,
From
I
Assam.
saw her.
Yeah, so may I request if you can please invite her to, because we
Okay.
have done the training at Assam also.
Of course.
May I
of
request if
course.
you can
It
invite
will
her
be
for
my
a while,
pleasure.
then we will
Yeah.
start from here only. Just for a
Yes.
while, for a change. And I would
Okay.
request Mrs. Aarti to please come and
Yes,
share your
ma'am.
views.
Yes, ma'am. Of course, it will be a special occasion for us too. Means what we can share some unexpected moment now. It's so we didn't expect her. So, ma'am,
All right.
please.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
And
Good morning, ma'am.
to President of ODM, who has given me the opportunity to attend your webinar today. And first of all, I would like to clarify one thing, that I am not district judge. I am subdivisional judicial magistrate Tejpur, Shonit.
I am sorry, ma'am, I was not aware.
So thank you all. And I'm really getting so benefited by this. I'm getting to know so many things which we were not aware of. So thank you so much. That's all from my side. And I'm being so privileged to attend this program. Thank you, organization.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank
Just
you, ma'am.
Thank you.
okay,
Thank you, ma'am, for being a part of us. Thank you. Okay, Girija, let's go back to the same slide.
Okay.
All right. Workplace fire safety precautions. If you see, I have already spoke about all this, and Arunji have already spoke about all this, but here we are just showing you a signages, kind of signages, and which signages speaks about what. Like if you see first signage, there is a hand with the finger pressing an alarm. They said, do not panic. This is not only in case of fire. Suppose if you are traveling inside a lift, it has an option of a panic alarm button. But do not panic. Just put the alarm. People are there to take care of you. If buildings and floors, they have an ERT teams to take care of you. Just raise the alarm. They will come and rescue you. So do not panic. The most important, this is the first factor. Tigers, I must tell you all, this is the first factor you should get in case of, it's not only a fire disaster, any disaster you feel like you have been caught. First of all, do not panic. Presence of mind is very, very important. The more you get panic, the more you get into the disaster. The more your mind will be in presence mind, the more you will act good and safe. you will not save yourself only, you are going to save everyone around you also, being a leader at that time. I know Mr. Arun has an experience in this. Arun ji, can you please share your experience कि कभी कोई disaster हुआ हो and people started panic and you took a control. थोड़ी देर के लिए I just want Mr. Arun to speak about it.
थैंक यू परितोष जी। मैं एक एक्सपीरियंस आपके सभी के साथ शेयर करना चाहूंगा। दिल्ली के अंदर एक उपहार सिनेमा होता था करोल बाग के अंदर, और उस उपहार सिनेमा में बहुत सारे लोग फिल्म देखने के लिए जाया करते थे। एक दिन क्या हुआ कि उसमें फायर, आग लग गई, और आग लगने के कारण क्या हुआ कि वहां पर बहुत बुरी तरह भगदड़ मच गई, जिसका नतीजा क्या हुआ कि उसमें बहुत ही ज्यादा कैजुअलिटीज क्रिएट हुई। ऐसा क्यों हुआ? क्योंकि ना तो वहां का जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन था उसको ये ट्रेनिंग थी कि वो किस तरह से किसी भी फायर इंसिडेंट, किसी भी अर्थक्वेक के समय, कोई भी मिसहैपनिंग के समय वो कैसे कोऑर्डिनेशन करेगा, कैसे अपने सभी लोगों को सेव करेगा जो वहां पर फिल्म देखने के लिए आए हैं, कैसे अपने एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को सेव करेगा। कोई ट्रेनिंग नहीं थी, किसी तरह का कोई भी वहां पर ऐसा ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम कंडक्ट नहीं किया गया, जिसका नतीजा लोगों की जान हुई। वहां पर कैजुअलिटीज हुई, बच्चे गए, बड़े गए, और वहां पर नतीजा क्या हुआ कि ये स्टैम्पेड की वजह से हुआ सब कुछ। ऐसा क्यों हुआ? जब भी किसी तरह का कोई भी हादसा होता है तो उसमें एक सिस्टम होता है, एक तरीका होता है कि हमें कैसे एविक्यूट करना है। मगर फायर के समय हर व्यक्ति ये सोचता है कि किसी भी तरह मुझे जान बचानी है, तो वो ये नहीं देखता कि उसकी क्षति मुझे कितनी होगी, बस वो ये देखता है कि किसी तरह मैं सेफ हो जाऊं। अगर वहां पर इस तरह का कोई माहौल होता या किसी तरह से भी हम उसको कोऑर्डिनेट कर सकते, तो कहीं ना कहीं हम जो स्टैम्पेड हुई, जिसमें बच्चों की जान और बुजुर्गों की जान ज्यादा जाती है स्टैम्पेड में, क्योंकि जो यंग जनरेशन होती है वो एग्जाम्प्ट करके सबको निकल जाती है। इसमें सबसे ज्यादा लॉस सीनियर सिटीजन्स का होता है या बच्चों का होता है। ये एक जीता जागता उदाहरण था इस उपहार सिनेमा का कि किस तरह से स्टैम्पेड होती है। और ये चीजें है ना, चाहे फायर हो, चाहे कोई अर्थक्वेक हो, या कोई भी ऐसा इंसिडेंट जो जानलेवा है, उसमें ये चीजें क्रिएट होती है। इससे हम सिर्फ ट्रेनिंग के द्वारा ही बच सकते हैं। वो ट्रेनिंग्स कैसी है? एजुकेशन ड्रिल। एजुकेशन ड्रिल का मतलब है हमें तरतीब वाइज बाहर कैसे निकलना है। इसका हमें ज्ञान होना चाहिए कि जब भी किसी तरह का हादसा किसी भी प्लेस पर घटा है तो वहां की जो सिक्योरिटी सर्विसेज है, जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है, वो कैसे उन व्यक्तियों को जो वहां पर आए हुए हैं, चाहे वो 100 है, 200 है, कितने भी व्यक्ति, उनको सकुशल बाहर कैसे निकालेंगे, उसका रास्ता कैसे होगा। एट द टाइम जब ये हादसा हुआ है उस समय एक एक करके वो कैसे उसको बाहर करेंगे। एजुकेशन एरिया कौन सा होगा, कितने लोग अंदर गए थे, कितने बाहर आए हैं, उसका सारा डाटा एट द टाइम वहां पर होना चाहिए, ताकि ये पता लग सके कि कितने लोग अंदर गए थे, कितने बाहर आए हैं। उनमें से 2 लोग गायब हैं तो ऐसा हो सकता है कि फायर के अंदर फंस गए हो, या कोई अर्थक्वेक आया उसके अंदर किसी चीज के लिए नीचे दब गए हो, क्योंकि कुछ चीज टूट कर गिर सकती है उस समय, और कोई दब भी सकता है। तो हमें हर एक चीज का डाटा अपने पास रखना होता है उन परिस्थितियों के लिए जिन परिस्थितियों में कोई मिसहैपनिंग क्रिएट होती है। तो ये स्टैम्पेड जो है ये इतना नुकसान करता है जितना कोई हादसा नुकसान नहीं करता, जितना कोई फायर इंसिडेंट या अर्थक्वेक या भूकंप कोई भी है वो नुकसान नहीं करता। सिर्फ स्टैम्पेड ऐसी चीज है, अगर उसको सही तरीके से एडजस्ट ना किया जाए तो उसके दुष्परिणाम में बहुत घातक होते हैं। और आज तक के जितने भी मामले हमने फायर इंसिडेंट के या अर्थक्वेक्स के या और भी कई हादसे देखे, उसमें हमने यही चीज नोट करी कि स्टैम्पेड से ज्यादा कैजुअलिटीज हुई, नॉर्मली कम हुई। सिर्फ किस चीज का अभाव था? सिर्फ अभाव था ट्रेनिंग का। वहां के एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को ट्रेन नहीं किया गया, सिक्योरिटी सर्विसेज को नहीं बताया गया कैसे करना है, और जिसका नतीजा हमारे जो निर्दोष नागरिक थे, जो निर्दोष लोग थे, बच्चे, महिला, पुरुष, सभी ने उसका नतीजा भुगता। तो ये मेरा एक पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस रहा इस चीज के लिए कि किस तरह से स्टैम्पेड में सबसे ज्यादा जाने जाती है और उससे हमें कैसे बचा जा सकता है। इसके लिए हमारा सीधा सा ही फंडा है कि हम लगातार ड्रिल्स करते रहें। ड्रिल्स का मतलब एजुकेशन ड्रिल्स हम 100% करें, हर एक 3 महीने में एक ड्रिल करवाएं। कोई भी प्रोमाइसेज है, चाहे वो स्कूल हो, चाहे वो कॉलेज हो, चाहे हॉस्पिटल हो, चाहे कोई भी प्राइवेट संस्थान हो, कोई फैक्ट्री हो, कोई गवर्नमेंट सर्विसेज ऑफिस हो, हर इंसान की जान की कीमत है। ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई भी व्यक्ति की जान की कीमत नहीं है, हर व्यक्ति कीमती है। इसलिए हर व्यक्ति की सुरक्षा सुनिश्चित करना उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का कर्तव्य होता है जो वहां पर काम करने के लिए आया है। परितोष जी प्लीज कंटिन्यू करें.
Thank you, Arunji. This was very important. Arunji is one of the most experienced man in our ODM team. That's why I want him to share in between every time, because he is on ground. On grounds, he has seen lot of disasters, people getting panic and all. And I really thank you to him that he has always given a very good leadership, and he has controlled a lot of disasters in Delhi NCR and all around. Even in Assam also he's gone for a training which went very well. Okay, now get back to the slides. In the workplace fire safety procedures, it's not only workplace, you can definitely take it as for your home and for your office, for your government office, for your private offices, for your shops. As I was telling you, do not panic. If possible, call the fire. It's not a question of if possible. If possible, why we have word used if possible? People go, अरे यार possible क्या, आग लगी है तो fire brigade को तो बुलाना ही है. ऐसा नहीं होता. जैसे मैंने बोला, small fire which can be extinguished by the water type extinguisher. If not extinguisher, even you can pour a glass of water also. If it is a very small fire, got it? But if the fire gets into major disaster, definitely you cannot control it. You need experts. Try to first aid first, but don't wait to carry on doing first aid for a longer time and the fires keep on increasing. No, hardly for a minute or 2 minutes. If you feel like you are unable to control, dial the number and call your fire station as per your state wise. Leave the building by nearest emergency exit. This is also in case of fire took some major shape. Evacuate building खाली कर दीजिए. 3 बार इंग्लिश में और 3 बार हिंदी में आप अपनी बिल्डिंग और अपने ऑफिसेस में पीए सिस्टम इफ लगा हुआ है, माइक सिस्टम, उसमें बोले. नहीं तो मेगाफोन आता है, मेगाफोन जिस नहीं है तो खरीदें. दिस कॉल्ड अ मेगाफोन. साउंड उसकी काफी आगे तक जाती है and you can shout like fire. It has a process, or let the people know in their building that the fire has taken, then they have to evacuate the building. While evacuation, do not allow anyone to use the lifts of your building, because it's a duty of a lift operator as well as an overall in charge of the building to get all the lifts on the ground and get it open. Because only in case of ERT team leader who is in charge of taking out the people out of the building or out of the office. It could be a ladies on a good news. It could be people, those who have some medical issues, or it could be a small kid has come to some office with their parents, which should not be allowed, but it's okay. Sorry. In today's scenario, many buildings have the crèche on the ground floor, but sometime in the even Sundays or weekends, parents used to bring their kids along. Ki chalo yaar, 1 घंटे के लिए जाना है, चलते हैं. And sometimes suddenly some disaster occurs. So it's a ERT leader who is only authorized to operate the lift to bring down only these 3 categories to buy a lift. Ladies, on a good news, individual having a medical issues or a kids around. Rest all people, rest all staff, nobody is allowed to use the lift. They have to evacuate through the fire exit staircase, which is being structured or planned according to building, that you have to see where your office is located. And if you are at home, if you are at house, definitely if the fire takes a major place, you have to come out of the house, take your mobile along, and definitely do not greed about the valuable parts. If your life is safe, you can again regain everything. If your life will go away, there is no value of any money, no value of any assets. Just bring your mobile, take your mobile with the presence of mind, do not panic, come out and call all administration for police, fire brigades, and nearby. Then do not stop to collect personal belongings, that which I have told you. Do not return to building until authorized. Yes. when the fire took place, and definitely the expert team reaches there, until unless they will not give the clearance either to the building in charges, or if the disaster has taken place in your house, in your home, until the expert says now everything is extinguished, now you can go and look towards inside. Please do not try to get in panic. As I told you, if your life is safe, you can gain everything again. Report to your assembly point. This is in case of building I'm talking about. There is always an assembly point there and being marked. Do not try to be nearby office. अरे चल देखें क्या हो रहा है. बड़ी आदत होती है. अरे देखें क्या हो रहा है. अच्छा अरे वो देखो मेरा सामान वो पड़ा है. No, don't do like that. अरे वो राम सिंह तो वही है. चलो राम सिंह वहां खड़ा है, हम भी वहीं खड़े होते हैं. Tell Ram Singh also to really come back and assembled in the assembly area. Let the expert team carry out their part. And when they give the clearance, then only count your heads of your office, report to the building manager, my all heads are okay, fine. And then after the clearance from the expert team to the building manager, and you get the clearance from the building manager, please get in again to see actually what is the condition and then how you have to renovate. As I told you, do not use the elevators, which I told you earlier. Girija, next slide, please. Fire extinguishing method. This we have already told you about. There are only 3 parts: cooling, smothering, and starvation. This is the technical words we use, but we have already explained you. If you remove any one material from the type of fire, how the fire took place, you are going to extinguish the fire. Cooling means you are removing the heat. It could be ignitions or sunlight, where the sunlight is other, you have to remove it. Smothering, you have to cut down the oxygen. When you are extinguishing with the extinguisher on the fire, you are cutting down the oxygen level. Definitely the fire will go up. Starvation is remove of fuel or remove. That's your material. Any material which is there, you have to remove the material. Sometime I would like to tell you over here, I just remember there was a big ground, the dry grass were there, and the fire took place. Now what we have to do? Only we have 2 options. First, to get the water tankers and get the area wetted, like pour the water on the ground, the more we can, so that the dry grass get wet and the fire should not come ahead. Fire should not take a long area. And we have to dig it, and there could be one team, simultaneously one team start digging the ground, so that there is always a cut down of the fire area, and we pour the sand inside that railing, so that a fire will not come ahead. There are 2 types of fire when the open ground takes a fire in case of dry grasses. Next slide, please. This is the slide. I'm not going to run this slide, tigers, because verbal trainings is nobody's happy in the verbal trainings, and I can see and I can really know that there could be a people those can get bored. We will tell you about this extinguisher lively when very shortly we are going to have a demonstration. But this is a type, you can see the extinguisher. This is kind of ABC type of extinguisher, look like this. Next slide, please. We have a live extinguisher. This is very important. This is something like you should know about how the extinguisher looks like and what part is known by which part is known by what. Where is the wall assembly? This is where you have to cut down the hole. That will, when we are going to give you a live demonstration right now, from where you have to hold, from where you don't have to hold, what is there, what is this marking. Mr. Arun will tell you on that. Next slide, please. Very important. Just learn pass. Ajkal, I still remember I went to one of the company and I tell ki, where is the pass? Where is the pass signage? He starts showing me his identity card. Sir, here is my pass to enter. But no, I'm asking about this extinguisher is there and where is the pass? Sir, extinguisher ka koi pass nahi hota. Yeah, I'm talking about pass. And what it's few minutes back, we are on the slide where it was mentioned lack of staff training. I was asking him about the extinguisher and the pass, which relates that I am talking about the pass formation, pass abbreviation about the extinguisher, which should be there, how it has to be operated. But he was showing me his ID card. Then he said the extinguisher don't have any pass. But if that person would have been trained time to time to regain the knowledge by the building management or by the floor office administration officer to ensure the training is being planned, he would have answered me correctly. Pass is pull. P stands for pull. Pull means pull the pin. There is always a pin which will show you the live demonstration by a minute. I just take it out in a run through. Aim. Aim means you have to aim towards the where you have to extinguish the fire. Squeeze means there is always a lever on top. You have to squeeze it to get the fire extinguished, to get the material out of that extinguisher to fight a fire. Sweep means you have to sweep, like you broom in your house. Every extinguisher has a different sweeping process, which will be told to you by Arun right now after this presentation on a live demonstration. Next slide, please. Fire safety, definitely. This is a small tip. I think this is the second last slide from us. It's a small tip. Smoke is dangerous. I request my humble request to all my smokers, friends, my brothers, if you can really avoid smoking. If you cannot, at least thoda kam kar dijiye. Get low to avoid smoke. Tackle the fire if you are trained to do so. As I told you, if you learn from this PPT, let it be a basics. Basics are it. We are just willing you should learn class of fire and which type of extinguisher can be extinguished. If you have learned that, we will share this PPT with Girija, and Girija will share this PPT with all of you also. Fire sound the alarm, light the path, and know your way out. Fire exit staircase. You can go through. Next slide. Definitely, with all this, what we have taught about, this all the basics. I'll tell you, fire safety is not only what this 10-15 slides we have gone through. It is a major subject. It's a wide subject. The more you learn, the more you get trained. I will not use the word expert. The more you learn, the more you get trained. Please note down. Nobody is expert in this world. Neither we, neither no one. If everybody says I am the expert in fire safety, no. This is a kind of disaster. It happens everywhere, small, minor, or major. But at least we should only get the knowledge through this PPT and time to time this session, that we should be aware about how we can do the first aid in case fire disaster happens. I would like to know if you are like Mr. Arun, can we start with the demonstration? Now, Girija.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Girija, I request everyone to take a cup of tea right now, along with the PPT, because there is no hard and fast rule that you have to concentrate. You can concentrate with a cup of tea also. And definitely, I would also like to have a cup of tea, and we'll show the demonstration right now. There is no break in between, but relax yourself, feel very comfortable. Ask your nearby to give you a cup of tea or glass of juice or water, whatever you feel like. Because in the meantime, just give me, Girija, just 5 minutes. I have extinguishers are there, material is there. We are going to make it arranged. Already it is arranged. We'll just set up, and within 5 minutes, again, we'll get back on the live demonstration of fire extinguisher. Are you okay with that?
Yes, yes.
Mr. Arun is already he's already going to set up the stage where we are going to have a live demonstration. Within 5 minutes, we'll start with the live demonstration of fire.
Okay,
We'll
so
show you the
I think
extinguishers.
that 5 minutes we can utilize for this session
We
experience.
can at least have a sharing part.
They can share the experience in the first part.
Yeah. So till that time, Arun and Dr. Saurabh arrange that. Let us have a sharing session. Anyone online would like to ask anything?
You can share your experience about the first part. If you have any suggestions or doubts, you can. Anyone can. Radhavishni sir, are you there?
Oh, yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, you want to speak anything?
Okay, good morning to all. It was a very useful session, and I have been following it from 10:30 onwards. I'd like to have familiarized with what was going on from the beginning. Can you give us a link later, not now? Okay, what was? Can you hear me, madam?
Yes, audible, audible.
Sir, from where you are?
I am
And,
from Kerala.
yes, and he is also working in same field, Bhaiya. It's your own field, disaster
Sir,
management.
Yeah, I got.
Girija, I want everyone to introduce yourself, their district, state,
Yes,
city. So
Sir,
that we
you
can
make
also
it.
go down.
You may.
Okay, sir. I am from Kannur.
Kannur.
I have been working as a teacher, a retired principal from Payanur.
Wow.
And
We can learn many things from you.
I was working as a program officer in the national service scheme, sir.
Wow, sir, great. It's really pleasure. You are on board with us.
Yeah, and we have got a WhatsApp group with the name Tips Disaster Management, where we have professionals and experts and serious people on management of disaster. Especially, we were working along with the official setup when the floods were going on 2 years ago. We are setting a communication network, sir. Setting up a communication network to help the people involved in floods and to do sanitation work. We have done such activities. And we are, I think, as far as this session is concerned, it's very useful, sir. We are anxiously. I'm anxiously waiting for the next session also, where we will be given a live demo.
No, sir, we are just stand by with the live demo, and after this fire, Girija, definitely this session is not going to have. Next session on the continuously simultaneously, we are going to have a first aid and CPR, which is very, very important.
Yes,
even I want to know everyone, like even while giving training, I have gone through the heart attack, and the CPR only works out. And definitely I am in front of you. So my team, Dr. Saurabh, he's a president of a medical cell of district Gurgaon also. He's a very nice and very professional man. He will tell you how to do a first aid in a medical after this live demonstration of fire. We will invite Dr. Saurabh on board. And I'm really, sir, pleasure that you are on board. And I'm very much definitely, because, when I was in Indian Navy, I have been to not to Kannur, but some words I used to learn, like unge perane, like where you are going. I think it's Tamil or Malayalam, I don't know. But then something, if you want to ask, how are you, something people said,
that's in Tamil. That's in Tamil.
That's in Tamil. Okay, I was not aware about that as Tamil. But but it feels very happy. People like meeting each other in a different state. Like sub-divisional magistrate, Aarti ma'am is also there. It was my bad luck that I was not able to go to Assam at that time. But the team went, they given me opportunity, but I was occupied somewhere else. So definitely, Aarti ma'am, whenever I will come, I will meet you also. For sure. Anybody else would like to share? This Vanjana, Vanaja, what's his name?
Thank you, Radhakrishnan. Sir, anything else, sir?
The tips given in the session is really important.
So with the help of Girija,
house fires and like switching off our mobile phones and engines, it's very important. The behavior we have to adopt in petrol pumps, all those things are really important. Thank you for the session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
With the help of Girija, we will definitely help, because COVID. I don't want to scare people about again the worst thing of COVID. COVID is something like we are all at all states, all everywhere, all around world. We are taking a lot of precautions. And now I must say the small words on a topic is on COVID is we all are knowledgeable. We all know now what to do. People are in third wave. We know we have to sanitize ourselves, our hands time to time. We know we have to teach our kids, our neighbors, our office colleagues, please sanitize yourself. We know how to make a social distance. Let not totally depend upon the Prime Minister of India, sir, Shri Narendra Modi ji, he will only say and we will do it. Otherwise, we will be a common. We'll go to a pub, we'll go to a restaurant like and have an idli dosa, have an paranthas and come back. ऐसे अरे कुछ नहीं होता, there is no COVID, it has gone away. No, take all precautions, dear, whoever is online. And definitely Aarti ma'am is there, I'm sure, in their state, Pura district, and definitely she will be announcing and sending all the required notification to everyone, and people are adhering it. We are the people, Aarti ma'am and sir on board is the administrative authorities, those who are advising us. But we should know कि let's not wait for advice. They are also human. They have told you many times to do what we have learned, and we should take all the precautions. Nothing will happen if you take a precaution. If you will get yourself on casual mode, anything can happen anytime. Baki to everything is on upon God. I believe in God, and everybody should believe on God. Anybody else would like to share? Aarti ma'am, anything?
So thank you so much for allowing me to be the part of this important and very informative session. Normally, we are expected to know, but one thing I never noticed that we should stop our engine at fuel station.
Very
so
important.
From now on, I will make sure that I should stop my car.
Thank you, ma'am.
Engine, and that was very noticeable point.
Yes, ma'am. If you see in the petrol pumps and all, they have mentioned also switch off. So they always mention switch off your mobile. I will say don't switch off your mobile. At least switch off your engine.
But we do ignore that.
Yes.
Everything is mentioned. Everything is written everywhere. All precautions are there. But we
Yes.
human being, we tend to ignore that in a hurry, or that yes, petrol bharwana hai, chalna hai.
Because we are tigers.
So thank you so
We are
much.
tigers. Yeah. Anybody else would like to share? Vinod sir, before the live session goes on. Vinod sir. Bhardwaj sir.
Unmute, sir.
जस्ट अ मोमेंट। पारितोष आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी।
हाँ, मैं ये ऐड करना चाहूंगा, आपको शायद कंफ्यूज हो रहा है। मैम जो है प्रिंसिपल मजिस्ट्रेट हैं, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का पार्ट नहीं है मैम, जुडिशियली मजिस्ट्रेट हैं ये।
हाँ, मुझे अभी मैंने आपको आई आस्क्ड यू ऑन व्हाट्सएप, यू सेड यस, तो आई अनाउंस आई वाज नॉट देयर।
हाँ, शी इज नॉट इन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन पार्ट, शी इज इन जुडिशियल मजिस्ट्रेट।
I would like to formally introduce myself once again.
Yes.
To make everything clear. I am a judicial magistrate, basically. Subdivisional judicial magistrate Shonetpur, principal magistrate juvenile justice board. So all the juvenile offenders are apprehended and produced before me, and we hold an inquiry in order to justice. That's all. I hope now this is clear.
Yes, ma'am, it's 100% clear.
We are part of judiciary, not part of administration. But we also have administrative body in our district judiciary. So this training is very beneficial for us also. Thank you.
नहीं मैम, हमने चंडीगढ़ में भी किया हुआ है, और डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ इन दिल्ली आल्सो। हमने जजेस को भी ट्रेनिंग दिया है थ्रू ऑडियंस, और अभी शायद प्रोसेस अभी चल रहा है, तो होप सो कि हम अरुणाचल प्रदेश के अंदर चांगलांग डिस्ट्रिक्ट के अंदर भी हम लोग करने जा रहे हैं। होप सो कि आप असम के अंदर भी ये हमारे ओडीएम को इंट्रोड्यूस कराएंगे।
Yes, definitely. ODM is most welcome in Assam.
And sir, Girija is saying कि we have to visit and plan the live training at Kunnur also.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. There is a ma'am on a board, and there's a Vanaja. May I request Vanaja ma'am to share their views? Vanaja ma'am.
You like this session, Vanaja ma'am?
Yes, very good. I like it, sir.
क्या सीखा?
Yes.
सबसे अच्छा क्या what do you like the most? Which part of training?
That petrol pump message and COVID, everything is interesting.
I appreciate, ma'am, because there is something known as a stage fear. In the same way, the same way others kind of, but I really appreciate at least you spoke few words and you have learned something from us. Girija,
Yes, sir.
anybody also want to share so that we can start with the live session? Should we go ahead?
Yes, we can share. Can you please make it? That time I will ask you to someone else if they want to share
Okay.
something else.
Tigers, let's go for a live session outside.
Yes.
In the command of Arunji, and definitely type of extinguishers are there. They are going to flame the fire. They're going to extinguish the fire. They're going to demonstrate the extinguisher to you, how it looks like, where are the pins, how it is doing, along with Dr. Saurabh Gupta. So I'm going outside and we will take you in. Just be there online. We are coming in.
Okay, so anyone want to share anything? You can share. You can utilize this time to share your doubts or your suggestions, your experiences also. If you had any experience this way. Rima ma'am, you can speak.
Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, it's visible.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Rima ma'am, you can share it and select the make it
Yes.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, actually it was a nice session because we are neglecting small things. We are not aware of that. We will think that yes, that is small. What will happen like that? But after hearing this all, we can understand that there is something we have to keep everything properly and all. So the session was very nice, ma'am. And sir, that was wonderful session. Thank you so much for that. I hope everyone like me enjoyed the session and everyone got the some awareness about the things around us.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Eagerly waiting for the live session.
Once again, Vande Mataram and Jai Hind to everyone. Now here we are going to show you the live demonstration of the fire extinguishers. What type of extinguishers? We have a 3 type of extinguishers here. And Mr. Arun, I would like Mr. Arun to take over this call and start with tell the people how it looks like and how we have to extinguish the fire.
जैसा कि आपको परितोष जी ने बताया कि इसको किन परिस्थितियों में यूज किया जाता है, ये कौन सी क्लास में फायर में यूज होता है, ये फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर्स। और इसके अंदर इसका जो ये डायग्राम आप देख रहे हैं, ये इसका मेंटेनिंग डायग्राम है। जब भी 1 साल हो जाता है उसके बाद इसको रिफिल कराना पड़ता है नेक्स्ट डेट के लिए, तब ये एक्टिवेट रहता है, वरना तो ये जो इसका ये लेवल है ये तो आपको दिखाई देगा मगर ये कामयाब नहीं होगा। जब भी आप इसको फायर डोज करने के लिए यूज करेंगे, ये यहाँ पर अपनी सुई लगातार दिखाता रहेगा लेकिन फायर को नहीं बुझाएगा। इसलिए इसको ईयर वाइज हर ईयर में आपको रिफिल कराना होगा दोबारा से, और इसका एक डायग्राम इसके ऊपर रहना चाहिए ताकि ये पता लग जाए कि लास्ट टाइम इसका रिन्यूअल कब किया गया था। दिस इज फरवरी एंड डेट इज 2021। ओके नाइस। तो ये पूरी तरह मेंटेन किया हुआ है। अब इसको यूज करने का तरीका क्या है? बहुत सारे लोग हैं जिनको इसके बारे में पता नहीं होता, ऐसे टका हुआ है दीवार पे मगर इसको यूज नहीं कर सकते हम लोग। तो यूज करने के लिए सबसे पहले क्या होता है, सबसे पहले हमें इसको यहाँ से पकड़ के इसको जिस पॉइंट पर ये है वहां से रिलीज करना होता है, और करने के बाद हमें ये देखना होता है कि इसके अंदर पूरी तरह हमारी गैस है या नहीं है, क्योंकि ये एबीसी टाइप फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर है। ये आपका इलेक्ट्रिक फायर में भी यूज किया जा सकता है, इसलिए इसका ये मीटर देखने के बाद आप इसको यूज करने के लिए तैयार हो सकते हैं। सबसे पहले हमें इसके लॉक को रिलीज करना होगा। ये लॉक इसका ये है, ये देखिए, इस लॉक को यहाँ से रिलीज करते हैं। इसको कैसे रिलीज किया जाता है, इसको ब्रेक किया जाता है यहाँ से। ये इसकी सेफ्टी के लिए दिया जाता है ताकि इसका गलती से कोई उपयोग ना कर ले और ये वेस्ट ना हो जाए। तो इसको यहाँ से रिलीज करते हैं। ये देखिए ये लॉक हमने इसका रिलीज कर दिया, अब ये रिलीज हो गया है। इसके बाद ये जो पिन है, इस पिन को हम यहाँ से रिलीज करते हैं ऐसे करके। ये पिन यहाँ से निकल चुकी है बाहर। उसके बाद ये इसका सेफ्टी के लिए दिया जाता है कि बाई चांस आपने पिन निकाल दिया है और ये गलती से नीचे ना दब जाए और एम करने से पहले ये रिलीज ना हो जाए, उसके लिए इसको दिया जाता है। तो फिर हम इसको निकालते हैं ऐसे करके। अब हमें ये पोजीशन अपनानी होगी, इस पोजीशन पे। और फायर कहाँ पे, फायर क्रिएट की जाए। हमें इस पूरे डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन में ये बात याद रखनी है कि जब भी हम फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर का यूज करेंगे तो वो एयर के अकॉर्डिंग करेंगे, यानी कि जिस तरफ की हवा है उसके अपोजिट साइड से हम इसको एम करेंगे फायर के ऊपर, लाइक दैट। अभी हवा किस तरफ की है, अभी इस तरफ हवा है, नॉर्थ ईस्ट साइड जा रही है हवा। तो हमें क्या करना होगा, हमें इसको यूज करने के लिए इसको ऐसे उठाया हमने, इसको नहीं दबाना है, यहाँ से उठाया और इसको एम करने के लिए
बस हट दो।
आप देख सकते हो। अब एम कैसे करना है, नोजल को यहाँ से रिलीज करेंगे, एम करेंगे। प्लीज सी द सिचुएशन एंड पोजीशन एंड एम इन बेस ऑफ फायर, एंड एम इन बेस ऑफ फायर। फायर आपकी जो जड़ है उस पर फायर करेंगे। एकदम से हम पूरे फायर सिलेंडर को डिस्चार्ज नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि अगर हमें दोबारा जरूरत पड़ी तो उन परिस्थिति में हमारे पास सिलेंडर मौजूद नहीं होगा और जितना आवश्यकता है उसके अनुसार ही हम उसको यूज करेंगे, उससे अधिक नहीं करेंगे। अगर आपको लगता है कि आवश्यकता ज्यादा है तो यू होल्ड डाउन कंटिन्यूसली ऐसे करके, ऐसे, एंड एम द फायर। अगर आग थोड़ी बड़ी है तो आप उसको लगातार उसको जब उसके बेस पे मारकर उसको बुझाने की लगातार कोशिश करेंगे, लाइक दैट। जैसे वो बुझ आग दोबारा लगी है, दैट्स ऑल, फाइनल।
It means the extinguisher being used. This is the foam type extinguisher. It is being used. It is a controllable extinguisher. I must tell you, it is a controllable extinguisher. You can control it. There are many extinguishers. You cannot, once you are punched, it will empty full. Then only it will be. Then you have to go for next. This extinguisher is controllable. You have a control in your hand.
आप देख सकते हैं कि जैसे मैंने इसको यूज किया, इसका मीटर का डाउन शैडो शुरू हो गया है और ये रेड जोन के अंदर आ गया है, यानी कि इसके अंदर अभी भी कार्य करने की क्षमता बाकी है। जब ये ग्रीन जोन के अंदर होता है तो ये फुल कैपेसिटी में होता है, और जब रेड के अंदर आता है तो ये खाली होने की परिस्थिति में आ जाता है। मगर अभी भी इसके अंदर गैस है, इसके अंदर केमिकल पाउडर है जो अभी भी फायर को बुझा सकता है। आप हमेशा याद रखिए, जब भी इलेक्ट्रिक फायर होगी तो सबसे पहले आप पैनल से अपनी सप्लाई को काट देंगे और उसके बाद इस फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर जिसका नाम ए, बी और सी है, इसके द्वारा आप एम कर सकते हैं फायर के ऊपर और इलेक्ट्रिक फायर पैनल पे आप आग को बुझा सकते हैं जब आपने सप्लाई काट ली है। अगर आपने सप्लाई नहीं काटी और उसके बाद भी आपने फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर यूज किया तो आग तो बुझेगी, मगर शॉर्ट सर्किट की वजह से वो दोबारा लग जाएगी, जिस वजह से क्या होगा कि बार बार आपको फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर यूज करना होगा और आपके अंदर फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर खत्म हो गया तो आग लगातार लगी रह जाएगी, वो बुझ नहीं पाएगी। सबसे पहले मेन सप्लाई को ब्लॉक किया जाएगा, उसके बाद जो एम है जहां पर फायर लगी है, चाहे ऊपर है चाहे नीचे है, उस पे इसको एम करके हम जैसे मैंने बताया उसी उन्हीं परिस्थितियों में आप इसको यूज करेंगे। वो टाइप है ना सर ये, CO2 अच्छा ठंडी गैस है इसमें।
fire.
This fire extinguisher is CO2, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. इसका काम क्या है? ये टेम्परेचर को डाउन करता है. जैसे किसी भी आग को लगने के लिए एक ABC में से एक चीज टेम्परेचर होती है, उसको खत्म करने के लिए हमें CO2 का यूज कर सकते हैं. देखिए कैसे. लॉक रिलीज करेंगे. सबसे पहले ये यहाँ पर है, इसको यहाँ से हटाएंगे. ये यहाँ पर रहता है, इसको यहाँ से रिलीज किया, डाउन किया. उसके बाद यहाँ से इसको ग्रिप करना है, यहाँ से ऐसे करके, क्योंकि ठंडी गैस होती है तो यहाँ पर आप कपड़ा भी बांध सकते हैं, क्योंकि इससे क्या होगा, इतनी ठंडी गैस है कि आपका हाथ ठंडा हो जाएगा. तो इसके लिए आप कपड़ा बांध के भी इसको यूज कर सकते हैं. अब ये आप देख सकते हैं, नजदीक से दिखाइएगा, ये इसके ऊपर ठंडेपन के आ चुके हैं. छोटी छोटी बूंदे आप दिखाई दे रही हैं आपको. देखिए, क्योंकि इसके अंदर CO2 बहुत ही ठंडी गैस होती है ये, और इसके टेम्परेचर को डाउन कर देती है, जिस वजह से आग परमानेंटली बुझ जाती है.
Here I just want to add you something. CO2 extinguisher, carbon dioxide. I must tell you, you can save yourself from the fire burn. आग से जले को आप you can treat it. But if you get a cold burn, which is a highly temperature which comes out from this extinguisher, if the cold burns happen, you get a blood clottation. Aag se, when you get a hand burn from a fire, it can be treated, it takes time, and definitely it get procured, right? You can change the skin. Aajkal environment, we have a very high level medical science in our India. Our scientists are doing very well. But if you get a cold burn, take my words, avoid cold burn. Cold burn se aapke you get a blood clot. Your blood kicks into get clot. And the clot are very dangerous. It can move to your heart, it can move to your mind, and you are permanently sick. So try to avoid a cold burn. That is why Arunji has said here you have to hold it from here, this part. Don't even have to hold it from here. You will get a cold burn. You have to hold from this part. If your extinguisher is working but this part is missing, you either temporarily, people used to hold it from the cloth, kapda, don't do like that. Get this hose changed with a proper part, proper holding stick. This is 100% required when this kind of extinguisher is operated. It avoid you, it will save you from the cold burn. Now, there are many type of other extinguishers. It could be a foam type, it's a water type and all. But all the extinguishers have a operating method almost same. But what happened? Water type extinguisher got punched. We'll tell you water type extinguisher how it gets punched. Arunji. This is a general fire extinguisher which is used in general fire. जो हमने बताया था आपको आम तरह पानी से जो आग बुझा सकते हैं, तो ये पानी वाला extinguisher. This is a water type extinguisher which is being used in a general fire like cloth, wood, coal, as well as other general fire materials. You don't have any foam, you don't have any carbon dioxide, it's just a water with a cartridge. And please Arunji explain to you.
सेफ्टी पिन जैसे उनमें थी वैसे इसमें भी है। ये यहाँ से लॉक रहती है हमेशा और यहीं पर इसका लॉक बंद हो जाता है। इसको रिलीज करते हैं सबसे पहले, क्योंकि इसमें क्या है कि इसको प्रेस करना होता है। जब इसको प्रेस करते हैं तो ये अपनी यहाँ पर रिलीज होता है और उसके बाद यहाँ से वाटर टाइप है ये, इसकी वजह से पानी निकलना शुरू होता है। लाइक दैट, देखिए नॉट पुश, आई थिंक पंच कर दिया बट नॉट पुश।
No problem. ठीक है. It is being punched. बता दे इसकी we have to punch hardly.
After the punch, the water is released from the side and aim the
45 degree.
45 degree angle.
No problem. Now, as this is a small demonstration on a fire, what we are going to do is fire safety PPT we have already shared with you. We have shared with Girija. She is going to share others. Now, the most important, we have learnt about the fire disaster safety and all, and what type of extinguishers are being used. The most important part, while fighting with the fire, while fighting with any type of disaster, another disaster we will take another session. Like this session was basically for fire and safety. But while fighting with the disaster, while taking control on a disaster, most of our expertise, most of laymen, those who are there, whom we rescue, they get medically sick. Either some of them get medically sick by inhaling a smoke. Some of them get medically sick by have some cut or something. Like there are a lot of parameters are there which cannot be discussed over call. But I'm going to invite Dr. Saurav Gupta, who is a President Medical Cell as well as a part of a ODM as a national coordination, national operational in charge. I'm going to ask him to please come and let us know the first aid which we should know basically, as well as kind of a CPR training to be given to all around, and which we can maximum he can tell us what all basics we should know about in case we are roaming around here, and we are at home, we are at office, how we can save our neighbor friends and all by giving the first aid. Definitely simultaneously with the first aid, in charges of the office or the head of the family has to call the doctor also. But the first aid which we can give immediately to at least rescue your loved ones, how we are going to learn with him, Dr. Saurav will definitely tell you. Now, Girija, may I request you to, if you take a Saurav online.
Okay. Dr. Saurav.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Are you all audible to me?
Yes, yes.
Today I'm going to give some tips on first aid. First of all, I'll be giving you the demo of CPR, how CPR is done and how important is it. Now, Rajesh. Rajesh, start. Now my staff will give you a demo how the CPR is given. You have to first sit like in this position, and this is the basic things. You have to put your palm this on the center of your chest like this, and left hand like this, and you have to start, Rajesh. Really like this. It should be done 30 times per second for 30 seconds, 2 times per second. And there are 3 types of CPR. The three basic parts of CPR are easily remembered as CAB, C-A-B. C is for compression, which is doing. A is airway, and B is breathing. Chest compression can help the flow of blood to the heart, brain, and other organs. And now he'll show you how to put oxygen. This is the oxygen cylinder. First of all, this is a gauge. Ideally, this gauge comes up to between 100 and 150. Now the pipes are all connected. This is the face mask. Now what you have to do, first you have to open the key, press like this. And now open this knob. Now the oxygen you're seeing over here, the oxygen flow is going over here. You have to put it to between 5 to 7 liters per minute. Here you can see, I'll show from here. See.
Dr. Saurabh, I had a question. May I
Yes.
know how much oxygen has to be released in types of patient or what kind of something like that's very important to know.
In basic starting, you have to use 5 to 7 liters per minute. Here you can show it's between 5 to 7. And depend on the condition of the patient. If he is not getting oxygen properly, you can increase up to 10.
All right.
Now he'll show you how to put on his face. This is the basic CPR and how to use oxygen. Now he'll show you if some patients get fractured in his hand or leg, we have given first aid. कि आप उसको hospital तक नहीं लेके जाते, then how to have to give first aid? For that you should have with you nearby. Show me that. This is called a sling. If you broke your leg from this side, you have to put this thing like this over here. And bandage. This sling will give support to your leg, and the patient will get some little bit relief from his pain. And same you can do it on patients both on the hands also. And now, if some patient get burned, for that my staff will give you a demo on the dressing for that. And first of all, I would like to say that everyone should have first aid kit in their homes. And I'll request everyone to please write down few items which one should have at their homes. That is a gauge pad or gauge roll. Show me the gauge pad. These are called gauge pad. This is gauze roll. This is Silvex ointment used in burn. And this is betadine ointment. This ointment you can put on any cut or any injury. And the crab bandage should be there. This is crab bandage. Scissors. And some painkillers you should have in your first aid box, like Zombiflam, Brufen, paracetamol. Now he'll show you the dressing जो कि burn के ऊपर होता है. If suppose here is the burn to the patient, how I'll dress it? First clean it. First of all, you clean with the betadine lotion. This is called betadine lotion. He's cleaning the after that, put some Silvex ointment. If it is burn case, you can put Silvex ointment. If he has got any cut or any other injury, you should apply betadine ointment. This is Silvex ointment. You should apply this like this. Put a gauge. Bandage. Now you can move your patient to a hospital. Now, if somebody gets injury on his ankle, how to do? Apply some painkiller ointment on his. Suppose the injury comes over here. Now he'll apply some any painkiller ointment like Volini gel, rheumatic ointment. And here he will like grab bandage. Hold his like this. And put these clips like this. Mr. Bakshi, over to you. I'm coming inside.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Saurabh. Girija and all participants, I must say there are many other topics in medical also, like we attain, but actually this is all when we will definitely come to Kannur or we go here and there. We take a lot of assets and equipments along with us. Right now, where we are at present, we don't have that all sufficient equipment with us, but just a basic idea has been given by Dr. Saurabh. And I must, before, like we have a sufficient time, but actually we want you to at least share, like only 2-3 people share, did their sharing with us. So, Girija, may I request if you can invite someone to share, do their sharing.
Okay, I will check it.
Anyone who is online, they can be unmute yourself and you can please share.
I would like to invite Advait.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, Advait, how are you?
Hi, Advait, how are you?
I'm fine. Good.
I am Adhik, I am from Kannur.
Wow. I will come to Kannur and definitely meet you, and I will take you as a target to learn more. You are a youngster and definitely I think you are the future of India.
Okay. It was a really good experience because if such a thing happens, it's very important. to learn a few things. It's very important, and I think this cannot be taught by the teachers in schools. It can be taught from outside. Thank you.
We'll come to your school to teach you very shortly. Let the COVID totally go off.
Okay.
And Kunur, you are a very young boy, and what's your age?
16.
16?
Yes.
Oh wow, very nice. You are very Kunur, I must tell you ki just be with
Vinod ji,
your...
good morning.
Good morning ji, good morning. Be with your parents and always see what they say you to avoid and to take all precautions of COVID, which is going on, and tell your friends also to be safe always.
Yes, thank you.
Anyone else? Rakesh ji. Who's
Okay,
this?
yeah, Rajesh ji, you can.
Is it Rakesh Bhardwaj ji? Hello. And you would like to share anything, Rakesh ji? I think anybody else? Anybody from anywhere would like to share anything?
Hi, Paritosh.
Manveer Singh, speaking something.
Hi, Paritosh.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Fine.
Sir, please.
Actually, Paritosh, मैं driving कर रहा हूँ तो थोड़ा unsafe act रहेगा ऐसे OTM member.
Oh, sir, this is a disaster. But at least thank you for coming on call.
Hello.
Sir.
और दूसरा मैं सब ODM मेंबर से करूँगा. दो टाइप की ट्रेनिंग्स होती है लाइफ के अंदर. वन इज इंफॉर्मेटिक ट्रेनिंग जो हमने आज ली है. सेकंड वन इज द बिहेवियरल ट्रेनिंग जो बहुत जरूरी है. और हम सब ODM मेंबर्स की जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि लोगों को बिहेवियरल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू सिखाएं कि आपने अंदर से कैसे बना है. तभी हम फायर रिलेटेड चीजें होगी, कोविड रिलेटेड चीजें होगी, इन चीजों से दूर हट सकते हैं. अब जैसे आपका कोविड को ले लीजिए. कोविड में ठीक है सरकार अपना काम कर रही है, वैक्सीनेशन लीजिए, आप सेफ रहेंगे. लेकिन बिहेवियर जब तक नहीं आएगा कि वैक्सीनेशन लेते हुए भी आपको सारी सेफ्टीज का ध्यान रखना है, तभी आप अपने आप को और लोगों को सेफ रख पाएंगे.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your sharing. We are
right,
glad.
Paritosh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very
मैं
much.
ड्राइविंग कर रहा हूँ इसलिए अभी मैं अनम्यूट में जा रहा हूँ क्योंकि
Sure, sir. I must tell everyone that Nonial Singh Sandhuji is a
Okay,
part of ODM.
I will invite Nafia ma'am to share.
Yeah.
It is also one of my students. Nafia ma'am, please.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Paritosh, sir, first of all, and Dr. Saurabh also for sharing such very vital information regarding fire and safety and be it first aid. I think I am okay. First, like so said, let me introduce myself first. My name is Nafia, and I'm student of Girija ma'am. I'm studying Ncdc. I'm doing Montessori teachers training course with her. Okay, and so as a part of this, I think yes, we are very lucky that we got many platforms. I think this is one of the best platforms to be ever got to get such vital information. We as mothers, I'm a mother and aspiring to be a teacher. So I think it's very vital that we learn all these, because only then we can give our children at least some basic knowledge about all this. So, sir, yes, I did have a few experience of fire. Like before, I was in Dubai and our building had caught fire. So, and then that time we like sir said, many things were done. But first what we all do is first we become panic. Like, oh, what should we do? What should we take? Where should we run? Which side should we run? But things are more clear now, I think. If at all we have to use the fire extinction, I think it's a little more clearer rather than just standing or just running away. I think if there is something that we can do from our part, your session has really helped us do that. Thank you so much, sir.
I must tell you, ma'am, as you said, you were in Dubai. There's all a multi-floor
yes.
residential commercial buildings are there. And when you said you in Dubai, and then I just remember the multi-floor buildings. I have missed one thing, and thank you for getting me remember. Apart from extinguisher, each multi-stories has one
Each
cabinet
floor.
known as FHC. It is known as fire hydrant cabinet. Suppose it is a general fire and it's leading to die and you feel like you have a confidence. Do not wait for the keys of FSC. Break the glass, take out the hose reel. The hose reel maximum length is approximately 35.5 meter. And the hose pipe, which is being male and female adapter, is maximum 15.5 meter. There is a ring type valve. You can open that valve and the fire pressure is there. But there are the procedures to how to operate and how to control the such high pressure of water. If you are confident, and that could only be learned by practical trainings, not on this verbal training. So
Right, right, sir. Because it's always written break glass. So we never try that. Children play with it and then we are like, no, you shouldn't do that. Yeah, you should break the glass. So no one will just try. Even when the situation comes, it's like, let's get out of here. That's it. We are not thinking about, we're just thinking about calling the fire force and not doing anything ourselves.
But you are not allowed to break the glass just for a minor. Break the glass.
Yes.
Only in case of disaster.
Yeah, we have fine also for that.
I must request you that.
We get fined for that as well, right, sir?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Next, I would like to invite Henry Tama.
Hello, sir. My name is Henrietta. I'm a student of Ncdc, Girija ma'am student. Right now, I'm staying in UAE. This class, it's really wonderful. You give so many information. Before I was working on a multinational company in Kerala. There we used to get this kind of information and all, but this class, it gives little more clear-cut information, like how we can avoid fire at home, that kind of things. You have mentioned it really well. And also the usage of this fire extinguisher. Here in our flat, we have that fire extinguisher, but we always think how to use and because the cylinder is here. So every day myself and my son used to go and check how to use, but you explained it very well. Thank you, sir. And this kind of platform helpful to us really. Thank you, sir. Thank you very
Girija,
much.
I think we must plan the tour to Kannur very shortly.
But these people, she's not from Kannur. I have students from different areas in Kerala.
You can do one thing, na? You can arrange a big get together of all NCDC students at Kannur.
Yes, of course. So, Salmi ma'am, are you there? Thank you, Henrietta ma'am. It was wonderful.
Can I request Rakesh Bhardwaji to please, if he is online, can I invite him? Rakesh Bhardwaji.
That's some celebration
I
going
think
on.
he's not there. Rohan Sethi is there? Okay, Rakesh ji is there.
जी सर.
हाँ जी, राकेश जी, any sharing?
सर बहुत अच्छा लगा ट्रेनिंग ओडीएम की देख करके, और मैं चाहता हूं कि ये ऐसे ही हफ्ते में 2 बार कम से कम ये ट्रेनिंग होती रहे, जिससे कि हमको और ज्ञान मिलता रहे। और बहुत अच्छा ओडीएम कर रहा है, हर क्षेत्र में जाके ओडीएम के द्वारा जितने भी ट्रेंड जवानों को किया है, लोगों को किया है, जिससे कि कई हजार लोगों की जान भी ओडीएम के ट्रेनरों ने बचाई है। तो मैं चाहूंगा कि इसी प्रकार हमारी ये ट्रेनिंग जारी रहे, जिससे कि और भी लोग हमसे जुड़े और हम उनकी लाइफ को सेव कर सकें। जय हिंद सर।
Thank you. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram. Rohan Sethi is there? Rohan Sethi?
Yes, hi Paritosh.
Yeah, hi Rohan ji, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Any sharing, sir?
Yes. So hi everyone. I will introduce myself. My name is Rohan Sethi and I'm from Gurgaon. I'm working in a private sector in administration, and I'm part of ODM like I think from 2 years now. Just before COVID, I was the part in the team, and I think we have worked a lot. Paritosh and me, we have when the first lockdown came and everything was locked down, we went in the surroundings and we distributed food also. And we have even done the trainings with different officials, not only private, but yes, we have done for the government employees as well. Like I remember once we went to the police station and we, done the training for the police staff, because they are also not very much aware about this, because they are involved in the police activities, which they have to do on a regular basis. And I think these kind of trainings, not everyone are very aware about these kind of things, like the fire extinguishers, and the first aid training kind of thing, because these things are very important before any of the expert team comes when there is any disaster. So, for example, a fire department or an ambulance, or all these people will take time to come to a particular situation. But if I think everyone is aware about these basic things, that will be great to save lives. And I think that's a great thing we are doing, and we'll continue to do that. Over to you, Paritosh.
Yeah, Girija, anybody from your end?
Thank you so much, Rahul. It was nice. Okay, so I'm checking if anyone there or not. They can also come forward, is it?
Okay, I must tell you all, like today we have cleared the disaster topic, fire and safety. And with support of Girija and all, we are, because there are in South long years back, I had already declared that there was a key tsunami was there, earthquakes, storm, thunders. We have a lot of big topics. So slowly, one by, because when we learn, when we teach, यार सारा कितना पढ़ाएंगे सिर से ऊपर से जा रहा है.
I will invite one of my students, Salmi ma'am.
So we will cover only one topic at each
Okay,
session.
okay, but can I invite one person?
Pardon?
Can I invite one?
I'm not getting you.
Salmi ma'am, will
Okay.
share. Okay.
Please invite.
Okay.
Thank you, Paritosh sir. I'm
Hello, ma'am.
myself Selmi. I'm from Kannur, settled in Sharjah. This was an informative class, sir. Vital informations you shared us for. So I have also I had an also experience like this. That time I don't know how to use the fire extinguishers and all. Now I got a clear-cut idea, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing
You are
us
always
this
welcome,
vital
ma'am. You are always welcome. I must tell everyone, actually, we should thank Girija. She has taken this initiative to contact with us, because there is always one man on the show. All the credit goes to him or her. And I think the training session of this, which you have taken, the credit actually goes to not to ODM, to Girija, because ODM is always there for all of you. But Girija took that initiative, and I'm very thankful to Girija for this. Anybody else want to share?
Thank you so much, Girija ma'am, also.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
it's
sir.
totally my credit. You were ready to do these all things when I informed you. So credit we can share. Okay, so everyone, if the credit we want to share to the participant, if there is no participant, it will not be a success. Thank you. Thank you, Salmi ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Girija, I think there is no one to share more, but definitely I must, first of all, before ending this session, I would like to invite again Chief of ODM, Shri Vinod Bhardwaj ji, to share his views.
Yes.
Vinod Bhardwaj ji, Chief of ODM.
Excuse me, I am Rakesh Sharma and I have opted to share something.
Yeah, please, ma'am, please.
May I? Can I speak?
Yeah, please
Hello.
share, ma'am. Please share your views. Unmute yourself.
Okay.
Can you please turn on your video?
ODM, but I did not know the vision of the ODM.
Girija,
Today
can you
from this-
unmute her and get her on call, on screen?
I
Rakesh
am
Sharma.
unmuted. I am unmuted. I am from Ambala.
Girija, can you
Ma'am,
get
can you please turn
Mrs.
on your
Sharma?
video?
Girija, can you get Mrs. Rakesh Sharma on screen?
Rakesh is there, means I'm finding
No,
her. But-
she's Mrs.
Yes,
Rakesh Sharma.
yes. But she wants to turn on her video, then only I can spotlight.
Mrs. Rakesh, please turn on your video. Apna
Ma'am,
video
ma'am,
on
can
karo.
you please turn
I
on
am
your
trying
video?
for that.
Okay, please turn on your video, ma'am.
Has it
Mrs. Sharma?
started?
Yes,
Please
ma'am. We want to see you,
Oh,
that's why only.
great.
Okay, good
Thank you
afternoon,
very
ma'am.
much for
Yeah.
giving me a chance to speak. I am Rakesh from Sharma from Ambala. I had been listening about ODM, but I did not the scope it has covered just about now. Today's this training has given me the opportunity to listen and to actually feel what has been done by ODM. Only a number of things which we know, but we don't insist upon them, such as this extinguish fire and the first aid and how to escape from fire cases. One thing is more that I have not noted is that one should not be panic. This is the one thing which has been insisted by Paritosh ji, that we should not be panic, we should remain balanced, and then only we can get through all the problems we have. I am very much thankful for giving me time to speak and ensure that this type of activities which will be all along given by this group. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being on the platform. And definitely all this learning will help you out for the safety, not for you, your family, your neighbors also, as well as when you go to the market. If you are aware about a little basic things, that's going to help you out to save yourself and your loved ones. Anybody else would like to share?
Should I disclose that I am mother-in-law of Mr. Paritosh Bakshi?
Great.
I had been going through all these things, his ODM and all that before also, but I did not heed. What is this? I thought this is only a tamasha. But today
At
I have
least
come
it's
to
good.
know,
Whenever
and
I used to visit Ambala, and nobody listened to me about ODM. What is that? Because no, we don't give me training. We know everything. I go, okay, bhai, you know everything. Now at least now I'm happy. Now she knows we know.
Now I think I must try this useful thing in our city also, and I
Definitely we will come to Ambala with the entire ODM team, and we will train Ambala Vasis very shortly.
Okay, thank you very much.
Anybody else would like to share?
Anyone?
Vinod Bhardwaj is there, Chief of ODM. Okay, I would love to invite once again, before I should end it and I should hand over to Girija. Girija, allow me to one by one speak to Mr. Arun, and he can share his views and if anything he has in mind.
Yes,
Mr. Arun. Mr. Arun.
Yes, take care. Arun sir.
थैंक यू टीचर जी और थैंक यू परितोष जी। और मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा कि जिस उद्देश्य को लेकर हमारा ओडीएम लगातार अपने कर्तव्य की तरफ अग्रसर है और उसको ये मुकाम हासिल करना है कि हम अपने देशवासियों को, अपने जितने भी कंट्री के लोग हैं, उन सबको डिजास्टर के बारे में, फायर के बारे में अवेयर कर सके, उनको सेव कर सके। और मेरी आशा है और मैं दिल से बहुत ही धन्यवाद करूंगा गिरिजा जी का, जिन्होंने इतने एफर्ट्स करने के बाद ये सारा प्रोग्राम कोऑर्डिनेट किया और सक्सेसफुल करने में उन्होंने पूरा योगदान दिया। इनका मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं और साथ में सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स का भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं, जिन्होंने अपने कीमती समय को निकाल कर और इस प्रोग्राम को अटेंड किया और इसके द्वारा जो भी चीजें बताई गई उनको धारण किया और अपने अपनी प्रतिक्रिया, इस बात का सबूत है कि उन्होंने बहुत ही दिल लगाकर इस पूरे प्रोग्राम को अटेंड किया है। मैं बहुत ही अच्छी शुभकामनाएं देता हूं दोबारा से स्वतंत्रता दिवस की, और सभी खुश रहें। थैंक यू वेरी मच। प्लीज परितोष जी कैरी ऑन।
Okay, Dr. Saurabh is there. Dr. Saurabh, I think Chief of ODM has an urgent meeting with somewhere in Secretariat, so he has gone, and Dr. Saurabh has also gone along with him. It's no okay. Girija, before I should.
Vinod sir there.
Vinod sir is there?
Yes.
May I request Vinod sir to please. Hello.
Unmute sir.
Yeah, Vinod sir is there. Yeah, sir, we are going to end the session, and definitely before I should hand over the last words to Girija Peter, the credit goes to her for all this.
यस
may I
बिल्कुल
request share your
श्योर
views?
श्योर बिल्कुल 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 पारितोष जो ये वेबिनार जो हुआ है इट्स ड्यू टू ऑन मिसेस पीटर थैंक यू मिसेस पीटर और हमें बड़ी खुशी है कि इन फ्यूचर आल्सो आप हमारे साथ इन्वॉल्व होंगे और बिल्कुल हम आपके कुन्नूर के अंदर श्योरली वी विल कम एज सुन एज पॉसिबल और जो ट्रेनिंग सेशन अर्थक्वेक फायर और फर्स्ट एड के दिया है मिस्टर अरुण मिस्टर पारितोष एंड मिस्टर डॉक्टर सौरभ तो ये हमारी एक्सपर्ट्स टीम है और इन फ्यूचर आल्सो हम लोग हर एक स्टेट्स के अंदर हम लोग जाएंगे और कम्युनिटी पीपल्स को हम लोग अवेयर करेंगे फॉर सेफ्टी एंड सिक्योरिटी थैंक यू वंस अगेन मिस्टर पारितोष एंड टीम्स एंड मिसेस पीटर थैंक यू सो मच
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So it was
Thank you, Vinod
very
sir.
good
Thank you
great
very
moment
much.
for us too.
Thank you, Vinod sir, for your last sharing. Before I should end, I also Deputy Chief of ODM on behalf of Chief of ODM India. I would like to thanks entire my ODM team, those who are online, Rohan Sethi, Nonial ji, Rakesh Bhargava ji, Neha, and all team members of my ODM family. Thank you very much for being on platform. I'm very happy to see you all this, and I would like to thanks by core of my heart to all of the participants, those who have really taken out their valuable time to learn the basics, and they have really with a lot of patience they have, because learning needs patience. And definitely I really appreciate and I salute you, all of you, for all your patience. I sincerely appreciate your attention today. I wish that you would have grabbed some of the basic topics which we have gone through. Always remember, I must say all of you that always remember, these are the very important words I'm going to say to all of you. The little fire you have, I repeat, the little fire you have may leave you little. I hope everybody understands this. Careless is the biggest cause of fire. Never be a careless. Always presence of mind is required. Be happy in your life. Fire destruction is one mark, but prevention is everybody's duty. So this is everybody's duty to prevent fire and to ensure that we should not let fire hazard materials get covered or get accumulated everywhere. Clear your scraps. Let it be home, let it be office, on time. Clean your house. Do not keep unwasted item inside your house. The more waste item will go out of your house, the more safe you are. Same for the company, same for the corporate, same for the floors. And I must thank you once again and salute Girija Peter. Thank you for giving us a chance on this platform. And this is the one topic. Next time, whenever you would like to invite us again on the next topic like earthquake, storm, or as Nonial Singh Sandhuji sir has said, behavior is one of the most important factor towards any disaster. And that one word comes on, that is panic. I request everyone, do not panic in your life. Be happy, live your present, and be always good, be safe, stay safe. Girija, over to you.
Thank you, Shivai. And next, I would like to invite Rahima ma'am for expressing the gratitude towards.
Yeah, please, Vandana ma'am. I want to hear from Vandana ma'am a lot. She speaks less. Actually.
Rahima ma'am for the vote of thanks.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, all. Myself, Rahima Rahim, and I was the student of Girija ma'am and now working as a faculty in Ncdc. And today's session was superb, sir. Actually, I also worked in an EMS company, and we are seeing the companies and all. We are seeing the fire extinguishers and all. What they gave the training is that you have to put the fire, the button, alarm you can put if you are seeing a fire. That they trained for us, and we will go to the safety area and all. Like that, an experience came for me also. But don't know about this fire extinguisher, how to use. But now I am thinking, sir, if we have confidence, we also can use that. Is it, sir? Like if we have confidence to use and we got training, I'm thinking that we also can use. So that is a great session. And the first session also, the PPT and all very useful. Simply you explain to the public, sir. So we have got more information. And the second part, the first aid and the fire extinguisher, superb, sir. We got more knowledge and more information. The live information we got, that will be in our mind forever. We are getting the live information. So that was very useful, sir. And on behalf of National Child Development Council, from bottom of my heart, I would like to thank Mr. Paridosh Bakshi, sir, the Chief Coordinator of ODM, and Vinod, sir, the President of ODM, and our Dr. Saurabh Gupta, sir, Chief Operation ODM, and Arun, sir, Chief Training ODM. And thank you so much for the basic tips and fire tips and safety information. And from home also, we have to take care of the small things. That also we got, sir. So on behalf of National Child Development Council, once more, I would like to thank the entire organization of disaster managers. Yes, thank you. I am expressing my gratitude towards you all, sir. Thank you so much for the
participants also.
Yes, for the Girija ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. For arranging this program, and participants, I know that you everyone enjoyed the session. You all got more information like me also. So thank you so much for coming and making the session wonderful. Thank you all. Once more, I would like to thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ravi, ma'am. It was wonderful. You're sharing everything. Everyone. So you also, from your words, we can understand you also enjoyed the session.
Yes,
but it was very nice. I'm also very happy here, and thank you so much, my dear brother, Paridosh Bakshi, and his colleagues. It was very nice here, and whenever I'm informing these all these type of webinar, and I know you will be there. So thank you so much once again. Thank you so much to everyone, especially to Radhakrishnan sir also. He also informed me that yesterday's paper news. I already gave the news and in paper about this. So that also some of them came in this. Sir also came through that. If you also working in this field itself, disaster management, if you also interested in this field. So I'm expecting everyone, when you all want to be take care of yourself, your safety. It's a safety first. Was it, Bhaiya?
Thank you, Girija. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you once again to everyone.
Okay, thank you so much.
Meet you soon, very shortly.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. What are the team members? It's your team members' camera is off. So yeah, otherwise I can spotlight them. Or show Dr. Saurabh. Saurabh, can you please on your camera?
Dr. Saurabh. I think he has gone for security.
Yes. It's okay. Then can we wind up?
Vinod sir is there, Girija ma'am.
Vinod sir. Yeah, Vinod sir. I can spotlight them. That's why I'm asking. Arun sir. Okay. Okay, thank you, entire team. So it was very nice. I enjoyed a lot. Okay, so it was very nice session for me and for our team also. For our team also, it was very nice. Thank you so much. I will call you later also. Means if any emergency coming webinar or anything related with this topic. Okay, the continuation. It was the foundation or basic you gave us. Some more advanced version will be there.
That's right.
Yes. So we can go with that. And Arunji, it was very nice. But thing is that you used more Hindi. But for me, it's okay sometimes. Then also it was simple Hindi. So I think it's clear for everyone. I think it was simple Hindi. Everyone said it was clear. So thank you so much. After a long time, I'm hearing this much Hindi. Okay, no, it was very nice. Thank you so much. Can we wind up this session?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
sure.
so thank you all. Thank you so much. Be safe always. Be healthy always. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay,
Vande Mataram to all.
Yes. Vande Mataram to everyone.